As always, Le Honk. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Arvanauts. Welcome, everybody, to a Tuesday stream. It is May 28th. It is the final Tuesday of May, and welcome back to a somewhat more normal schedule, he said, as we are past ArvCon. ArvCon was great, hugely successful. I will be sending out a couple more thank yous online for stuff like this soon, and I won't dwell on it now except to just send one more thank you out to people. $5,056.16, I believe, was the final total. It was just a great experience, even though there was a lot of weird stuff going on behind the scenes, scrambling behind the scenes, basically to sort of reschedule stuff, but we managed to get it done, and everyone came through again. Community came through again. It was really a great experience, and hopefully we also, in the process of doing that, got some new folks on board who will be able to join us for some of the fun festivities we do the rest of the year, because we do have other cool events that we do and things like that. So as always, just a couple of notes about ways to support the channel. If you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube, and if you're watching me over there, welcome, and please subscribe to me there, and consider checking us out here on our stream on Twitch. Discord is !ArvCord. Twitter is !ArvTweets. Blue Sky, !ArvSky. Website for all that, arvaneleron.com. Financially, !ArvShop is the merchandise area. !ArvTreon is the Patreon, where you can get cool stuff for yourself and cool stuff for the channel. Subbing to the channel is always very much appreciated. We got a lot of subs over the weekend, which is a combination of gift subs and people that jumped on board to sub, even though I didn't mention it at all, because everyone is just sort of, everyone was really enjoying the community vibe, I think, as I was as well. So we got a lot more subs in, which is great. So welcome, and make sure to use those custom emotes and use those sub badges here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. Plus, you can get inspirations to help our players both there and in the Patreon sense. And boy, did we need inspirations during our Marathon Eberron session. Good gravy. But so we had that going on. So you can sub to the channel. !Icarus, my graphic novel from Athos Arts. !Library, my Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And Grayshade, that's my Grayshade RP. I mean, there will be an RP, but Grayshade IP, with the first two books in the Grey Assassin trilogy, Grayshade and Renegade, already out. You can get those at that link now, published by the awesome Athos Arts. You can also get the audiobook of Grayshade, done by our very own Trent Sparks, at that link. You can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Grayshade, coming to you from designer Brandon O'Brien and from Alligator Alley, the publisher. We're very excited about that. Cannot wait for that to come out. It is going to be really cool. That's going to be out at the end of the year, so you can pre-order that right now. And again, pre-orders are love, pre-orders are life. And you can pre-order Heretic, the final book in the Grey Assassin trilogy, which is going to be coming out in July. We have a couple of events centering around or connected to Heretic that we'll be announcing soon. One of them is connected with Athos more generally, and we'll talk more about that when we can. The other one is more specific to my local area, but I will talk about that more when I can as well. I don't have all that stuff put together. I've been a little occupied over the past week with a little bit of a charity event that we did here. So, but now I'm going to be able to turn some of my attention to that, especially after I get back from Three Rivers Comic-Con in Pittsburgh next weekend. So do all that with Grayshade. And as always, BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Help Now, that's the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help, and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Ukraine, to help the people of Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message we will do so for others in that situation in the future. A couple of quick notes here on scheduling. One note that I want to make is, hold on one second. Hold on, just responding to something quickly. Okay. Yes, so this afternoon, schedule wise, so again, we have our illustration stream again today, which is really cool. Then I'm going to be over at GOG.com's Twitch channel for Pen and Pixels at 4:15 p.m. I'm going to be playing some more Black Geyser, which is going to be great. Hey, what's up, Summer? Arvin Fighting Fantasy, a duo made for the ages. Well, thank you. That makes me feel good. And don't forget Tari, a trio made for the ages, since TariToons, our amazing artist, is here as well, as I will introduce in just a moment. But so we're going to be playing some Infinity Engine love letter games, so to speak, with Black Geyser, Couriers of Darkness. We're going to continue with that, so that's going to be a good time. And then we're going to be into June, because I think there's one more day. Yeah, Thursday. We have got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on Thursday night, and that will close out the month of May. Now, this weekend is going to be very up in the air. I'm going to try to get one stream in, but it will be from the road, because I'm going to be in Pittsburgh at Three Rivers Comic Con with Little Arv. And if you were anywhere in the central to central west Pennsylvania area, near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, United States, would love to see any or all of you at Three Rivers Comic Con this weekend. I'll be there on Saturday, and then Sunday, Little Arv and I will be taking in a baseball game, and she'll be throwing out the first pitch and all this stuff, so that's going to be a great time. And then we'll be back for June, and June is going to be a busy month, but it should be a month where most of the time I am going to be, I shouldn't say all the time I'm going to be at home. We're going to have a lot of travel in and out, but we're going to be able to do streams most of those times. It's going to be a lot of the fun, though. I'm really looking forward to it. But I have not put together the schedule, nor has Triffid, because Triffid and I were both exceedingly busy, but we will get the schedule put together for June. It may take a couple more days longer than normal, but just, bear with us. And the last thing I want to note for everybody, more shorts are going up. In fact, I've just posted or scheduled a new short to be posted over on my channel. So if you're over on YouTube, please check out YouTube and subscribe there, as I said, but please make sure to check out and spread the word on those short videos as well. Live Suing is doing those and has really been that's a revelation to me. Has been super, super awesome and has really helped bring more people into the mix. Same thing with Gen GMs. So definitely make sure you do that. You had no idea. Exclamation point ARVTube, Summer, will get you over there. ARVTUBE. I would love to have you follow and subscribe there. It's free for you to do that, but that definitely helps us out. And yes, I have thousands of hours of content, and I have actually technically two, because we have not only the regular channel that Triffid just posted with shorts there, and long videos too, obviously archive videos, but in addition, and that includes if anyone missed any of ARVCon, you can catch all of it there. Also, we have podcasts over on the website. That's right, for Shire Adventures and for Curse of Strahd. We have those over there. And in addition, we also have Zach Clay's and my Gen GMs. Thank you, Summer. Gen GM's show, which is my DM show that I do with Zach Clay. That also has done very well. We have about 4 or 5 long episodes up now, and we have a bunch of shorts that we've put up there too. So yeah, I'm excited about all of that stuff, because I've learned the beauty of scheduling in advance, chat. Can I just tell you, schedule in advance and then just watch them post automatically like magic. It's great, especially when you have amazing people like Live Suing who are doing the shorts. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. But now what's going on with us is that we have some stuff we have to do. And that means I have to unmute myself so that Tari knows that we are ready to go. And then I'm going to unmute her and bring you over to reveal not the good, not the okay, not the so-so, but the amazing TariToons, who is with us and is here for Slaves of the Abyss, as you can see. That's not her work, though. Let me show you what her work is. Her work looks like that. That's TariToons. Tari, it's good to see you. How you doing? How's life with you?
Hi, thanks for having me. Doing good, doing good. I don't remember anything about what happened last stream, so.
Yeah, I also we're gonna find out a little bit. I'm also a little confused about that, but yes, we will remember. It'll be good. Right now, so TariToons, of course, is an amazing illustrator and cartoonist, and also, of course, the star of Beowulf. We were talking about Beowulf a little bit. Chat, you are not prepared for the awesomeness which will come next with Beowulf, so that's going to be happening more next month. But today we are here with Slaves of the Abyss. So, Tari, do you have any suggestions about the soundtrack for today?
What were the vibes again?
So this thing so far, and
Mm.
let me go over to the thing to find. So this description is basically there is our city is under siege, and we ended up having to, and we have this sword of Fang Thane steel. So it was a little bit like I think we were talking about it being like 13th Warrior, right? Ish, like sort of in that ballpark. And so I think it's got that sort of vibe of it's a little Conan and a lot swordsman, sort of like hardcore sword and sorcery. I think that's really the vibe. Sword and sorcery is the way I would describe it.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't actually played that many like classic Sword and
Sword and sorcery. We could do wizards.
games.
We could do the Wizards and Warriors OST.
Sure.
Did you ever play that game?
That does not even ring a bell. So.
Okay, it was this funny like sort of a platformer. But if you ever a chance to check out Wizards and Warriors and watch the protagonist character, the main character jumping, it's silly. It's very, very silly. But let me call up Wizards and Warriors and then I'll put a link in there. Wizards and Warriors OST.
Are there even that many like classic sword and sorcery video games? Like usually it's like
Golden Axe,
Tolkien-esque fantasy, right? But like the really classic 80s literature kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not that much.
Not that much. Golden Axe would be the one that I would say. That's probably the closest one. And then there were the D&D games were not like, I'm not talking about the RPGs per se, but like the arcade, there were some arcade D&D like beat 'em ups, like a Double Dragon or games like that.
Yeah.
And they had that, but in for Dungeons and Dragons, but it was very much like sword and sorcery feel. So let's see. Okay, here we go. This one right here.
At the Memorial Day sale.
Nope. I don't care about your Memorial Day sale. Never mind your commercials. All right, I'm going to copy the playlist into Zoom.
Well, I guess like depending on which D&D video games you look at, you would have probably there are like some gold box games that take place in one of the sword and sorcery or settings, right?
That's true, but because they themselves play so differently, that's true. Yes, like Savage Coast stuff. Yeah, like yeah.
Well, I'm part of the Forgotten Realms, is obviously sword and sorcery, but
right. That's what I'm saying. But I guess all the games though, in my mind, they always feel different because they play so differently than that. But yeah. Hey Genly. Okay, chat. Can you hear this soundtrack? Hold on a second. There's nothing playing. Now it'll play. Can people hear that?
I can hear it. Ha ha ha.
Haha. Yes, yeah, I know.
Nah.
Okay, so let's talk about what happened in our last session, and let's remind all ourselves of what's happening. I will say one thing, which is that we have a time component here with this. So, yeah, that oh man, that was striking. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have you go through the art first, and then I'll read a little bit of the intro recap thing. So let's look a little bit of this. So that's drawn out because of this, chat, because of this image right there.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Then our hero, Tempo Arenavor.
Yes, Tempo Arenavor, who is a badass. He also has basically a backpack, a Fang Thane steel sword, battered leather armor, and a pomander of herbs. And he's got 3 potions, and we don't know what they do yet. So that's great. He's got an awesome horse.
See, I don't even remember that.
He has an awesome horse, but I don't know how long he
anything.
stays on the awesome horse, though, is the problem. Like,
I do remember that at some point we died. or character turn. Right, there were like parts of the book where it's
He
like,
gave up.
yeah, you walked in the wrong direction, so now the adventure is over.
Yeah, he's just like, he's like, never mind. That's literally what it was. He was just like, I don't really, oh well, whatever.
It's like a Chrono Trigger, but the world refused to change moment.
Yes, he says.
And we found some potions.
Yes, Gulch, Arahi, and Zazaz. Those are the potions, and I don't think we actually used any of them. We can drink them at different times, and they'll do stuff. We don't know what. And there was the creepy house with the dolls. That's where we found the potions. Yes, it's starting to come back to me now a little bit. Oh, man, the creepy dolls.
And then the bonus rainbow flag. I don't remember the context of this one.
Because I think there's a section where it describes a flag flying proudly over something, and you're like, really? And then you're like, pride flag.
Oh yeah, a pride flag because it flies proudly. Yeah. That could be.
So that's what it was. So that was it. So this was fun stuff. And so what do we got here? So this is our guy Tempo.
Yes.
And is he enjoying the pomander of herbs? Is that what?
No, I just have a thing about drawing guys smoking lately.
I see.
Don't know why.
I can't imagine why. You sure you don't want to put a headband on him and
smoking?
You know,
like I find smoking so unbelievably disgusting. I can't stand it. But I love drawing guys smoking for some reason. It's awful.
I see. So you would you would like the look of it as long as the guy is then like I immediately it's not for the look. I break it in half and leave or something.
If they like invent a smoking that does not have any kind of smell and absolutely no medical drawbacks.
Right. Yeah.
Then I would be down for it. But as it currently stands, it's like nope.
Right. So that they invented smoking that was not smoking.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry it's been stressful, Genli, but no problem. It was a very, very good event. We were very pleased with it, and I'm actually really enjoying today. I was looking forward to today because it's like the day after ArvCon is really nice because it's like, whew, like that's done. That went well. That was awesome, and now they can get a little more chill. So I love everything about ArvCon, but I like the chill afterwards too. So all right, so that's where we are at. All right, so here's the deal, chat, with Slaves of the Abyss. So we are in the city. Basically, the back is a good description of it. Calamare, which is our city, Calamare for life, lies defenseless. The army is away facing an invasion to the north. And now a new threat is at hand, another enemy from the east. Lady Carolina of Kellamar summons you, chat.
Me?
You, also Tari, you. A famous adventurer to her aid. But can you help? Will you manage to preserve this stronghold of good against the invading hordes? Or is this task beyond even your heroic abilities? You will need your wits as well as your sword of Fangthane steel to prevent the sands of time engulfing the city. Part story, part game. This is a book in which you become the hero. So you are actually the hero. Yes.
So I figured out our next soundtrack after this one is over. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I really like, Prince of Persia is one of those series that I low-key really like a lot about. And I always forget. And then everyone's like, Prince of Persia. I'm like, that's a great series. But I don't always think about it when I think about games. But I really enjoy Prince of Persia a lot. Yes, Summer, you.
I'm not into platformers and action games like that. So...
Hey, what's up? If it isn't Yui Detenshi, also known as Law, also known as the second top donor to ArvCon. Welcome, Law.
Ooh.
You always miss these Fighting Fantasy streams because they're while I work. Well, Shadow, listen, if you could just, tell work, listen, give me a couple hours, like that's a human right. You live in Canada. Unlike my country, they care about human rights there. Like you should, rights of workers.
I support human wrongs.
Human wrongs. As long as we're human wrong. Okay, so here we go. But good to see you, Law. Good to see you, Yui. Good to see you, Shadow. Good to see Summer and Genli and Triffid and Emily. Lovely to see everybody. Also, Emily, how could anyone forget Take On Me? Right? Like, I feel like no one could forget that. It was during ArvCon. Chrono Wolf did a full set, including some 80s stuff of Take On Me, which, by the way, got muted on my video, apparently, jump, and oh god, it was jump, take on me, and oh god, what was the other one? Oh, we built this city. Except that he did it to Skylines because he plays Skylines a lot. So we built this city, but not in grids. Built this city, like because he hates grids, and it was very funny. Okay,
yeah, understandable.
It was a good time. All right, here we go. So, but as chat, as a reminder, when we are playing through this game, there is time that is going along as well. In fact, you can see that right now our time is sitting at 7. Now, according to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, when it gets to 18, I have to read something, which probably means that the city's in big trouble. We got to save the city, so we can't waste too much time is basically the point. So,
gotta save this
city.
Save
this city from hordes of guys. Save this city. All right. Your attention is drawn to the far end of the valley, way off to your right. You shiver involuntarily, and the hairs on the nape of your neck rise. Your horse shies and whinnies in terror. A thick stench fills your lungs. The sparse slopes are being slowly enveloped by an advancing wave of black lava, or so it seems. Your eyes adjust to the distance, and you see that the oozing black mass is not liquid, but a seething ocean of people. Even as you watch, it seeps closer, spreading like a dark stain. You have found the invading army, but will you, chat, Summer, will you survive to make use of your TariToons knowledge? There are many more people in the horde below than in Calamir's entire army. If you, Geister, ride down into the valley to take a closer look, you do one thing, or will you, Genly, gallop off to your, Emily's, left to try to reach the village of your... I made up that last your, so that made up. People, then that's something else. So, our first vote of the day, chat. Are we going to ride down into the valley to take a closer look at this army, or are we going to gallop off to our left to try to reach the village? If you want to go down into the valley, that's $vote space 1. If you want to gallop off to your left to try to reach the village, that's $vote space 2. So $vote space 1 to ride down into the valley, $vote space 2 to gallop off to our left to reach the village. Yeah. I have not read enough Larry Niven. I've read really only a story or two, and I have a friend, Brenda Cooper, who wrote a lot of stuff with Larry Niven as well. So I feel like I have not read enough Larry Niven. I need to rectify that at some point. There's a couple people I want to do that with. Larry Niven is one. Philip Jose Farmer is a second. This song's a banger. Ooh, I see what you're doing there. We got ourselves stuck in the hourglass of time, huh?
Mm-hmm. Actually reminds me of one of my pen and paper games, specifically Mutants and Masterminds.
Yep.
Where one of the first big bosses that we have was called Lost Hours. Was like this interdimensional apparition that sucks the time out of people.
Okay.
Wow. Very fun. Very good campaign. Like, my god, my DM for that game, like, it's entirely homebrew, the setting. So much fun. So
a lot of people love Mutants and Masterminds. I've never had the chance to play it, but I've heard only good things from people who have played it. So
it's a bit complicated. Like a lot of number crunching and keeping track of shit can be a bit overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are playing it with Magical Girl as a setting.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so much fun. We're just like doing all the anime tropes. It's so good.
Very cool. I just realized that we're about to run out of this soundtrack because apparently it was like a 15-minute soundtrack. So I will. I'm going to send you the I'm going to send you the one in just a minute, which is Wizards and Warriors 2, and then we'll do 3 because they're all short, and then we'll go to Prince of Persia. So I'll send you that one in a minute.
Kidoki.
Yes, I saw that, Shadow, the Prince of Persia game. It was kind of Souls-like, but it reminded me a little bit of Metroid Dread, and I was kind of like, I was thinking about looking at that Prince of Persia game. Yeah, Triffid, I wanted to read a couple, like the Riverworld, so, you know, something from the Riverworld stuff for Farmer, but collection of shorts, but lots of it, yeah. So you're saying Farmer is up and down? Because I've read almost, I don't think I've read anything of Farmer, to be honest. Okay, so last call. Did I do last call? I did not. Last call to get your vote in on whether we go to the left or we go down into the valley. This is... All right, this soundtrack may not be as good as I remembered it. There's a lot of a...
Can I have the link, please?
Yep. In just a moment, I'm finishing up this one amazing song, which is not amazing. Up and down, and some is a bit icky. Oh, really?
Now I have built the city stuck in my head. God damn it!
We built this city. Yeah, that was my.
This morning I had the fucking Firefly opening song stuck in my head. That was torture.
Oh. Yeah, I can
makes
imagine.
Me sad.
Okay. Right, here we go. So let me wow, it's a all right. Well, this is what we're gonna do. It's a 10-minute soundtrack. All right, Iron Sword, Wizards and Warriors 2. I'm putting it in Zoom. Right here. Oh, this is the one I remember more.
Oh my god, it has fucking what's his name on the cover?
Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio.
Yep.
When I like a few weeks ago, I drew Liquid from Metal Gear Solid 1.
Right.
I used Fabio pictures as like pose inspiration.
Yeah.
Because it's like, look at him, right?
There was a point at one time where you couldn't go anywhere during his heyday and look at any romance novel cover or something where Fabio wasn't either there or basically ripped off to be there.
That was before my time, though, I'm afraid.
Well, listen, during my time of enjoying romance novels, which never existed, but no, you could just, yes, it was kind of bizarre though. I was like, wow, Fabio, that guy gets a lot of business. All right, so we have decided to gallop off to our left to try to reach the village. Okay. You spur your mare along the back of the ridge, desperate to reach the village in time to warn them of their peril. It says, if Mema is with you... Okay, well, since I have no idea who that is, I'm going to guess that we don't have her with us. The hell is Mema? Mima? Maybe make a meme? When you reach the village's stockade, the army is no longer visible, but you know that it is only a matter of time, before it will sweep over this settlement. Strangely, the gates are shut when you arrive. So you leap... That was the heyday of Bat Boy, that's true. So you leap from your horse and hammer on them, bellowing to be let in. You look up in time to see a face staring down at you, but it pulls back when you catch its eye. A quavering voice from behind the palisade tells you to leave. You try to explain to the frightened villagers that they must flee, but in vain. Even as you speak, the black horde is darkening the hilltop in the distance. You abandon the villagers to their fate and ride on. Screw these villagers. Okay. The black horde is behind you. It is still many miles from Calamare, yet it is engulfing everything in its path. Although you know of no weakness in the enemy, surely Calamare should be forewarned. Evacuation may be the only means of survival. Tick off a time box. Yeah, that's not great. Will you ride to warn Calamare or try to find out more about the enemy? So $ vote space 1 is ride to warn Calamare. $ vote space 2 is try to find out more about the enemy. Yeah, this is the soundtrack I remember.
This sounds incredibly old.
Yep. 1989. and thanks, by the way.
Hee, you are old.
This and anyone who knows it is incredibly old.
Yes.
Very cool, Trivet. I will consider that. I will think about that. Okay, so what do you think, chat? Should we ride to Warn Calamare, that's our home city, or do we try to find out more about the enemy? So $vote space 1 means we're riding to Warn Calamare. $vote space 2 means we're trying to find out more about the enemy. What should we do? What shall happen?
It is a good day to do what needs to be done by me and defeat the enemies.
Mm-hmm. Must make it happen before the sands of time consume us.
No, that was a quote from
Oh no, I was looking at your picture.
Half-Life Full Life Consequences. Oh my god, you don't know Half-Life Full Life Consequences?
No, I do not. I have never heard of this.
Oh, people, please, somebody in chat, go to Discord and send Arf a link to the video. You can watch it after the stream, but like, this is like essential.
It's essential meme viewing?
Yeah, this is like, it's a classic, my guy, my dude.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I felt like I know everything from, Numa Numa to, all your base are belong to us to,
Well, I don't know if it's that old.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, What soup are you having today, Emily? The day started off fine yesterday. Throughout the day, I got sick with headache, fatigue, and nausea. I stuck it out throughout my workday. Was barely hanging on by the end. Went directly home. Didn't eat supper. Crashed by about 7:30. Woke up around 2. Awake to around 3:30. Fell asleep again until my alarm went off this morning. Feeling mostly better today. Jeez, Shadowed. I guess that sounds like the classic 24-hour, I just got hit by a truck, and then now I'm recovered on the other end of it type of thing. I'm sorry, man. Okay. Last call, everybody. So far, it seems like everyone wants to ride to Warn Calamare. Tofu, charred corn, rice noodles, and a pretty complex clear broth. Complex clear broth, huh? Yeah, this is totally so funny. This is the one that I remembered. All right, going once, going twice. And for those of you who are here, by the way, and thanks everybody, if you have never played with us before, because I know we have some new subs after ARFCon, we are playing a fighting fantasy game book today, kind of like the one that I ran, the Choose Your Own Adventure, except more complex here, with stats and the whole business. This one is called Slaves of the Abyss, and I am joined by my good friend TariToons, who is an amazing illustrator, who is illustrating stuff from this, and right now is illustrating what our hero is facing. And we have a character with statistics, as you can see on the left side of your screen. In the middle, you can see the poll window where you can vote for stuff. In this case, we're voting whether to ride to Warn Calamare, which it looks like we are going to do. I'm going to close that down now. And then below you can see our battle. That's if we fight things, when we fight things. And then the dice roller that we use for that. So right now we are riding to Warn Calamare. You spur your tired horse through the familiar countryside. And feel free to talk about the decisions that we make too. If you're like, chat, don't do this because you can't trust the person who hates soup or something. Like if you want to explain why you're voting for or against something. I don't know. I was just looking at Emily's description of soup, and I just... okay, you spur your tired horse through the familiar countryside of Calamare Province, pausing only briefly at watering holes and resisting the temptation to stop and warn everyone you pass. On and on you ride until your mare begins to stumble and you know she can go on no further. You must have rest if you are to reach Calamare. You are almost falling out of your saddle as you ride into Camadon, an affluent market town. An ostler helps you from your horse and you lurch into the inn. With barely a grunt at the... say again?
What helps us?
An ostler, who's basically like kind of a stable hand, like more or less, like a person who takes care of the horses when you arrive at an inn or a tavern or whatever.
Stable boy.
Stable boy, basically, yeah. But more dramatic, more complex, please, Tari. Like a stable. I mean, it's like
More
you have a
complex
janitor
flavor.
or do you have a maintenance engineer? You know what I'm saying? Like you have a minimum wage worker or a retail advocate specialist. You know what I mean? So that's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the hells of capitalism.
So yes. So with barely a grunt at the innkeeper, you stagger up the stairs and into the nearest room, and you collapse exhausted onto the rickety bed. If you have Sidge's pomander, and we do, we have a pomander of herbs. We can see it right here. So let's see what that does. Tired though you are, you cannot sleep. You remember Sieg's promise that the pomander would prevent you sleeping, but surely this has become more than a hindrance than a help. Your body cries out for true rest, squirming in tortured agony at lack of sleep. If you decide to remove the pomander in the hope this will help you sleep, you can do that, or not. So, should we remove the pomander, chat, so that the hopes that it will help us sleep, or not? $vote space 1 says we do remove it. $vote space 2 says we do not. Thank you, Genly. All right, what are we thinking, folks? $vote space 1 to remove the pomander. $vote space 2 means do not remove the pomander.
What was a pomander again?
It's like a little sack of herbs, basically.
Oh, okay.
This is where we were getting the whole thing about is it sachet or sachet and all that of herbs, but it's like a little collection of herbs.
Yeah. A potpourri.
The what?
Potpourri.
Yes, exactly. The potpourri, yes. This was developed by Zippo Games, this game. All right, Wizards and Warriors 3 OST, and then we'll do Prince of Persia after that. Pretty sure I never played Wizards and Warriors number 3. Let's see. All right, there's 3. All right, we are tied up, chat. How are we going to break this tie? Are we going to try to take the pomander off in the hope that we can sleep, or are we not going to do that? $vote space 1 to try to remove it. $vote space 2 to not remove it. All right, what say you, chat? People are unsure what to do. They are uncertain. Do we take off the pomander so we can sleep? $vote space 1. Yeah, pomander is admittedly not something, I mean, I know what it is, but it's like, I'm stretching, like it's not one that I'm just like, oh yeah, I use pomander every day. Just the other day I was like, hey, can you get me that pomander? Like, it's not. Yeah, no, that is not a common usage thing. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. It's probably like pomander, Pomander. I remember doing that in a panel once. It was very embarrassing. Years and years and years ago, I was talking about a gazetteer, and I had literally never heard it pronounced. So I thought it was pronounced gazeter. And I'm like,
what?
A gazette. So a gazetteer is like a kind of like an encyclopedia. It's like a atlas and encyclopedia, more or less like a thing that describes the region of a world, like its economics, its geography and so on. And literally I was like, and the guy in the panel was like, what did you say? I'm like, a gazetteer? He's like, really? He's like, you mean a gazetteer? I'm like, and I think I said something like, I said something about not regional dialect, but I said something like, oh, actually, yeah, well, I had heard a pronunciation that had it the other way, which is just literally not true. I had just never heard it pronounced, and I'm like, scramble, 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 scramble. Yeah, it is gazetteer, not gazetteer, to be clear.
When I was a child, well, yeah, actually, like around, I don't know, 12 or so. Like I used to read a lot of like video game magazines at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never heard the word genre said out loud, right? Like video game genre.
Yep.
So at some point in like literature class, I just said genre, which is like the phonetical German pronunciation. Like in German, you also say genre because it's a French loanword, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that still. That memory still lives rent-free in my head.
Yep. Because everyone's just sort of like, what? Like,
Well, like, I mean, like, my classmates also had never heard the word before in general, so, but still, though.
The pronunciation of Pomander has long O. Pomander. Really? Pomander. Is Gazetteer a valid fantasy name? Hello, Gazetteer. Well,
oh no, the Dread Gazetteer.
The Dread Gazetteer. Shadowed, we are voting on whether to try to remove this pomander of herbs, which the guy gave it to us and said that it would help us, that we wouldn't have to sleep as long as we wore it, but now we feel super exhausted. So the question is, should we remove the pomander or should we keep it on? So $ vote space 1 is remove it. $ vote space 2 is keep it on. And yeah, the other example of this, which is one where I thought I was getting embarrassed and then I realized that I wasn't, was I originally thought the pronunciation of my journey on this of wyvern, I thought it was W-Y-V-E-R-N is wyvern, like the letter Y. Then people were like, no, it's wyvern. So then I felt embarrassed about it. Then later on, I talked to a couple of people, including Ed Greenwood, who was like, no, it's wyvern. And I'm like, so I don't know now. I guess it's either.
I have also heard either, and like I read a lot of like, heraldic, historical literature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wyverns or wyverns are a thing in those too.
Yeah.
So.
So I have no idea now. I mean, like.
So yeah, it's. I think one is just American and one is just British. British.
Either is correct and accepted. Yeah, I guess that's why.
Wyvern. Yeah. Of wyvern.
wyvern. But I had internalized never say wyvern again. Which one? Say again.
How about Lindwurm instead?
Lindwurm?
That's like what it's translated as in German. Like in German D&D, like a wyvern or wyvern is a Lindwurm.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Which also does not check out because a Lindwurm is again a different thing.
But it sounds cool though.
Oh yeah.
That often happens in astronomy conferences. Genly says, this one time we had 3 Brazilian presenters in a row pronouncing horizon as horizon until the 4th speaker American, so the horizon. Right. You're just waiting to get up there and be like, yes, exactly. The horizon. A pomander, so a sachet could be mesh or fabric. A pomander is generally something either pressed into a ball or perforated into a ball or held in a perforated ball. Oh. So there's nothing around the pomander is what you're saying, Emily? Like it's just itself a collection of like compressed herbs? Is that what you're saying? It could be. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Well, Chad has made the decision to not take it off.
Keep mispronouncing.
Yeah, he's made the decision. Those drawer ceramics with the holes in them. Yes, I do know that. Okay. So that's, but could you wear that around your neck? I guess it wouldn't matter because that's, right? Okay, let's see. You continue to toss and turn uncomfortably. Deduct 2 points of stamina. All right, it's unfortunate. And let's see. What else was I doing? Oh, and tick off a time box. While staring at the skylight in the ceiling, you suddenly become aware of a rich, acrid smell. You wrinkle your nose trying to trace its source and then realize that the room is filling up with swirling smoke. The door is outlined with a red glow and you can feel the heat coming from it. A loud buzzing noise from the window distracts you, and looking over to it, you can see a picture, which I'm going to see if I can find an illustration. Okay, that's interesting, Emily. I don't think I didn't know that.
You don't think that you didn't know that?
No, I don't think that I knew that. I didn't know what I didn't know.
I'm just pulling your leg, making fun of your
yes,
your bad grammar.
Yes, my terrible grammar.
What about your terrible grandpa?
My terrible grandpa. Hey, listen. Nothing wrong with my grandpa.
That's a joke that I stole from Flight of the Amazon Queen.
From Flight of the what?
Flight of the Amazon Queen. Do you know that old point and click adventure?
Yes. Boy,
yes,
I have.
Yes.
I
there
only.
is like a scene where you like get into a village of like locals, and you talk to this one woman, like the local woman who's like I think the only local there who can speak English.
Okay.
And she like talks about how one of the guys in the village, like he thinks that correct grammar is about his grandmother.
We have to correct grandma.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what you see, chat. So I'm going to reveal this to you. For a moment, I'm going to go full screen. Wait a second. Before I do that, let me make sure that I have the scroll off and my camera on over there. And then... Oh. And I actually have to... I forgot that I have to put that full screen again. There we go.
E for gore.
E for gore. Okay, here we go. So it looks like this, chat. That is what you see outside your window.
Woo, Spectre.
Yeah. You typically see that, right? You know, that just happens.
The average night terror.
Yep. Come to my window. Okay. Right. So, that's what you see. You see a black-cloaked figure which hovers just outside. Do you rush straight over to attack the figure with your fists, or will you go to grab your sword? So, let's try that. So $vote space 1 means you will attack this figure with your fists. $vote space 2 means you will go to grab your sword. That is definitely in the weeds.
It's like old-timey, meaty sound, but I'm very much reminded right now of like Game Boy Zelda games, like
yes.
Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
Yes, yes, for sure. Yeah, and that is interesting, Shadow. That wyvern traces its etymology to the Latin vipera. And it makes sense. And also makes sense because the wyvern itself, typically in a creature sense, is described as having a stinger. Doesn't have breath usually. It's usually a stinger. So it's essentially, like a winged dragon-like winged snake, almost. That's interesting. Flat, plot, plate, splat. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Okay, so let's go, chat. We got to vote up. $vote space 1 means you're going to attack this thing with your fists. $vote space 2 means you're going to try to grab your sword. So what do you want to do with this thing? $vote space 1, attack with your fists. $vote space 2, go to grab your sword. Let's get those votes in.
$quote 3, kiss the specter.
Yes, $vote space 3, leap at it in an effort to embrace it fully.
Tenderly.
I love. Tenderly. You leap coughing in a smoke-filled room to tenderly embrace the shadow outside your window.
Yeah.
Oh man. Try to seduce it. I think that's where see. You and Tari are on the same wavelength, Kenley. I don't know if that's good or not. You have to be up to you to decide.
Should always be about kissing the monster.
Should always be about kissing the monster. Okay, let's see. So, all right. We have 2 votes to go for your sword. Okay. All right. Last call. $, vote space 1 to attack the figure with your fists. $, vote space 2 to grab your sword. You would say you're a Brazilian, so you're stereotype. Are you saying, really? So Brazilians would automatically try to seduce it? Is that the... Really? I didn't...
That's not a stereotype I've heard before.
No. I mean... The artist for Icarus was Brazilian, so interesting.
So he represents all of Brazil, obviously.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. Well, Brazil does not have a lot of people in it, let's be clear. I mean, it's not a major country, you know, with millions, hundreds of millions. Brazilians are more friendly, more sex appeal, and so on. I see. Icarus is pretty ripped. I mean, is he? He's wiry. He has that wiry strength.
Yeah, that is the form of being ripped. Like, ripped just mean muscular. Does not mean, like, built.
Well,
know?
I guess. I always imagine ripped, though, as being, like, you are kind of built. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, ripped isn't just, like, efficiently shaped, like, sculpted. I always think of it as being, like, that dude is ripped. Like, he's a, you know, big, heavy, you know, high workout, you know, very defined muscles type of dude is what I always imagine. Like, would you define Tempo as you're drawing him as ripped?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Genly says, as a gay man speaking, I'd imagine it to be all right. Okay. Wait, you'd imagine someone who's ripped to be all right? Interesting. Chiseled. Well, smooth, sculpted.
Smooth? That sounds wrong.
Yeah, smooth seems troubling. I guess sculpted. Chiseled. I guess I'm just thinking of, like, you know, like...
but you can be ripped without being sculpted, right? That's like the strongman type.
Okay, yes.
So...
It depends on the rippedness.
The
rippedness. I like...
Ripped for her pleasure. Yeah, yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Nothing. Well, I mean, plenty, but not in that regard.
Ripped for her pleasure. Okay.
It's like a really old joke at this point, please.
It's a spectrum, right? It's a ripped spectrum. Is that the idea? No, not
Did
oiled.
you make like an,
no, not oiled.
The political alignment chart, right? And you have like ripped in one corner, stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. So you have like where he shows up. It depends on body fat, Echo. Yeah, but see, I'm just like, again, I'm thinking like, I don't know, like the super wiry. I mean, I guess if I think of Bruce Lee, so Bruce Lee was ripped.
Oh yeah.
But and like was not bulky clearly, but I don't know, like he had real definition on the muscles, as opposed to the dude that he fights in Return of the Dragon, who is both ripped and like, well, all right. So and built, is that the term?
Oh, I don't know.
Like ripped and built, or ripped and shredded? Because then shredded would be the same as ripped,
I don't know who you're
right?
talking about. I haven't seen that movie, so.
What? You haven't seen the greatest kung fu movie of all time, where he battles the dude in the mirror area with the guy with the bear claw, and he freaking Bruce Lee.
Don't think I've ever seen any kung fu movies from that era. Like only later ones.
So you haven't seen the greatest kung fu artist of all time, in Bruce Lee?
Yeah, possibly.
I
Also,
am
I did watch
SMH
Shaolin
over
Soccer,
here, Tari.
which is a
I am
great
SMH.
movie.
What is it? Say again.
I did watch Shaolin Soccer, which was an amazing movie. So.
Yes. Chinese Connection is amazing. Enter the Dragon, Return of the Dragon. The Temple of Terror, where he fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's a good one. Okay, so we are going to do that. So option 2, which means we're going to grab our sword. Okay, it's smoking in the room, but we are going to grab our sword. By the time you have found your weapon and groped your way back to the window, the flying apparition has disappeared. The smoke is thick now, and you can feel the heat of the floor through the soles of your boots. Will you, it's our first 3-person thing, run for the door, climb out of the window, or look for another way out? How should we escape? Option 1 is run for the door. Okay. Run out of the door.
Run to the...
Climb out of the window. Or look for...
Fenestrate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Finish yourself off before the smoke does. Figure out the way to properly pronounce Pomander. All right, there we go. $ vote space 1 is run out of the door. $ vote space 2 is climb out of the window. $ vote space 3 is look for another way. Look for another way out. What would you like to do, chat? $ vote space 1, run out the door. 2, climb out the window. 3, look for another way out. Icarus is greased and defined. Okay, I need to look at my own graphic novel. Well, and the flame... No. The flame demon is clearly ripped. I'm with you on that. No doubt about it. And I guess he would be ripped and built. 100% on the flame demon. But Icarus is defined. I don't know about greased. But he's definitely defined. That's true. I just don't think of Icarus as ripped. Because I think he's too skinny to me to be ripped.
But yeah, in regards to kung fu movies, I'm more like of a wuxia person, right?
Yep.
Instead of like general kung fu movies, so like stuff like House of Flying Daggers, for example. Wonderful movie which I've watched so many fucking times.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Mm.
So you'd be more of a like a Jet Li, iron robe technique. One of the great things about wuxia is how they have things where they just make declarations of fact that you're supposed to accept. So like there's this one where it's like kind of bulletproof monk type of stuff where like there's this guy who like literally uses this thing called the iron robe technique. So these guys fire bullets at him and he like isn't hit by it. He's like, your gun is of no use to me. I have the iron robe technique. And the guy like puts his gun down. He's like, you bastard. And I'm like, wait, you're just going to believe that? How about you keep firing at him? And in the end of the movie, spoiler, he does actually get shot down because someone machine guns him. So like iron robe technique this. But you're just supposed to accept it. He's like, that gun is useless. I have the iron robe technique. And the guy's like, bastard, how dare you have that technique? I'm like, why are we just accepting this? Just do the thing. Kiss of the Dragon with Luc Besson. Yeah, well, and Jelly. Kiss of the Dragon, though, that is hard to watch because... what he ends up doing with those, like, some of the ways that he kills people are pretty uncomfortable. I got to be honest. They are not, so yes, I have seen Kiss of the Dragon, and Jet Li is awesome, but, Once Upon a Time in China, though, 1, 2, and 3, all good. Yeah. Oh, Kiss the Dragon by Luc Besson. Well, but there is the guy in there who actually gets killed towards the end, who's the corrupt, corrupt police guy. Okay, so it looks like we are going to climb out of the window. That is what Chad is thinking about. Okay. So, going once, going twice. Okay, we are climbing out of the window. Wait a minute, that's still... Okay, good. That is still Wisdom Warriors. I'm just making sure. You brave the smoke to grab your possessions, toss them out of the window, and then follow yourself, edging over the sill until you were dangling by your fingertips and looking down in readiness for the fall. Suddenly, you sense a presence above you. Do you look up or let go immediately? $ vote space 1 means you look up. $ vote space 2 means you let go immediately. You sense a presence.
A present? That's
you
nice.
sense a deadly presence. No.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
You sense a presence above you. An evil presence.
An Evil presence.
You want to look up at it and be like, yo, what's up, evil presence? And then get into a conversation.
Very happy music.
Yeah, that is true. I think this is probably like the store music, I'm guessing. This is, the shop theme. Haha. Look at that. I didn't know what to look at it, and I knew what it was.
Shop theme.
Yeah. In the days when you only had like 2 or 3 that 8-bit or 16-bit could actually process at once. So it was hard to get...
I think that's 8-bit.
8-bit, right. That's right. But 8-bit, basically, you had 2 lines, which is why the whole... When Zelda... when you got hurt badly enough in Zelda and it started doing the beep, 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 beep. And you're in the dungeon. Da, da, beep, beep, da, da, beep, 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 da, beep, beep. You're like, get me a heart so I can listen to the goddamn great music again. All right, last call. Right, going once, going twice. 8-bit speaks volumes, it's true. Okay. Lovely. All right, so we are going to let go right now. Let's see. Where was this? You land deftly, rolling forward to absorb the shock. As you straighten up, you feel your back spattered with some viscous liquid which begins to bubble and hiss. You tear off your jerkin and fling it into a nearby water trough. As it hits the water, a plume of steam rises into the air and the water bubbles furiously. Stepping backwards... Say again?
That our character is topless now. Because he was only wearing...
That's quite true. And what is that going to reveal him to be ripped or defined or chiseled?
Yes.
Folded?
Folded.
Origamied? What does that mean?
Yeah. Origamied. Jason!
His name is Crane. My name is Crane. Origami Crane. I need to make a spy story now about Crane. Origami Crane. Stepping back as the jerkin hits the water, a plume of steam rises into the air and the water bubbles furiously. Stepping backwards, you look up cautiously. With an intense whine, a black-winged creature rolls high into the air and disappears into the night. That was freaking close. I'm glad that everyone's trying to assassinate us. That makes me feel great. I don't know how you feel about this, Tari, but I think it's great that we're, someone is actively...
Of course you would like that, since you like assassin stories, so...
That's true. Yeah, but I write them. I don't want to actually be the subject of them.
No?
Yeah. No.
I thought everything that authors write about is exactly how they wish things to be.
How they personally wish. Yes, exactly. Well, as you know, we are exactly our characters, Tari, so it is important to know that. Someone has a copy of Icarus.
Like, for example, you wish to be from Venice, obviously.
Clearly. By now, a small crowd of townsfolk is gathered to watch the spectacle. From behind you comes a creaking noise, followed by a yawning crash. You turn in time to see the roof of the inn collapse, sending up a cascade of swirling sparks. You're just wondering where you're going to spend the night when you feel the light touch of metal against your neck, and a gruff voice whispers, "One move and you're a cut of beef, stranger." Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Will you stay still as the voice advises? Will you shout for help, or will you try to disarm him? So, what should we do? Should we stay still as the voice advises? Should we shout for help? Or should we try to disarm him? All right, what do we got? What do you think, chat? $ vote space 1 means we will try to stay still as the voice advises. $ vote space 2 means we will shout for help. $ vote space 3 means we will try to disarm him. Oh my god, I just saw the eyes. I have to show you at some point. There's work by a famous poet who passed away a few years ago named Richard Wilbur, who was the poet laureate of the United States for a while, won a Pulitzer Prize. And I knew about him. I knew him a little bit because my father ran a small poetry press, and he had written some blurbs for him. But he wrote a couple of books called Opposites, because his family used to play a game where they would sit around the table at dinner time, and they would like try to think of what someone would name a word, and they try to think of what the exact opposite of that word would be, even if it's like a difficult concept. So he wrote a series of poems about this, and he illustrated it. Now he's not, he was very far from being a professional cartoonist, but the drawings are kind of funny and charming, but the face of them with the eyes looks exactly like that face. Like, oh my God. Mortara! I have not seen Mortara in a long time. Hello, hello. Welcome. Hey, Effect Life. Did you miss anything significant? Well, you missed a big discussion about whether Icarus is ripped or defined or chiseled or oiled, which is what Emily keeps pushing for. And you have missed our guy almost dying in an assassination attempt in the inn. And right now we are voting. He has a knife held to the back of it, to his throat. His voice from behind him. He has a knife at his throat, and the guy told him, one move and you'll be a cut of beef. So we're deciding whether to stay still as the voice advises, that's $vote space 1, shout for help, that's $vote space 2, or try to disarm him is $vote space 3. So that's the vote that we currently have. And we're listening to the Wizards and Warriors 3
soundtrack. Or turn around
soundtrack.
and kiss him.
Or turn around and embrace him. Yes, what we've just been told, by the way, by my reliable, thoughtful, intelligent chat and intelligent friends, is that what you should do when confronted with a shadowy assassin floating outside your window is leap out of the window to embrace the person. That is what I've been reliably told is a good idea.
Well, I told you to kiss him, not to embrace him. Different thing.
So that's so what? What, you lower your arms? You're like what? How does that even work? You become a kiss missile, if you will, or a kissel. Oh, faster Banano. You're not as fast as I am. Goodbye. Faster ban on Nano. Am I right?
Yeah.
How does the kissel work? Since I've never tried to be a kissel myself because it is a silly idea, I do not know. But I would assume you would throw yourself out of a window. You would hold your arms by your side so as to propel yourself forward. Lips pursed, and then you just like head straight for the person. And
wait,
I guess...
Wait, but
yeah.
The kiss of death was like an actual weapon, right? Like
yes.
a little minigun. Well, minigun. A tiny gun, not a minigun.
Yes.
Disguised as lipstick. So that would be a kissel.
That would be a kissel as well. It's not a tutorial. I'm saying that's what I would assume it is. I wouldn't be here to talk to you if I had ever tried this nonsensical idea. What's up, Flying Enemy? You're very brave for taking on this FF book. Yeah, this has been a little complicated, Flying Enemy. Also, good to see you. It's been a little while. This is a little complicated. This is really funny, this drawing. Is it pronounced Pomander or Pomander? Okay, we need someone to break this tie, chat. So we have a knife to our throat. Do we? $vote space 1, stay still as the voice advises. $vote space 2, shout for help. Or $vote space 3, try to disarm him. Get your votes in now. It's complicated and hard as hell. Yeah, it sure seems like that.
Very helpful. Like this translates super well into writing. The whole, is it pronounced Pomander or Pomander?
Pomander or Pomander. I like how you describe it exactly the same way. So I just think, is it pronounced? What is everyone's the reader's like? Wait, I thought I'd get a clue. Can't get a context clue.
No context clues.
No context clues for you. Be coward, Echo says. All right, I'm gonna last call this.
Oh, I'm hungry again. Yep.
Let's see.
We are going for more than an hour still.
That is
Might
true.
need to take a tiny break to find a snack.
Okay, that's fine if need
Well,
be.
later, not now.
Let's see. So, going once, going twice. Okay, stay still as the voice advises.
Yep.
Let's see.
And then he kisses us, actually. Woohoo!
Exactly. No. Okay. Suddenly it dawns on you that you recognize the voice. It is that of your own blade master, Barolo. I knew who it was from the start, you old scoundrel, you reply, but a knife from behind is hardly your style. He relaxes his grip and allows you to turn round, before embracing you and kissing him, but just joking. He relaxes his grip and allows you to turn round. We all have to change our style to suit our circumstances, he grins, and you see that there is a wooden stump in place of his left leg. He sees your pitying expression and scoffs. Traded the old one in with a dragon. Barolo invites you to spend the rest of the night at his house. Oh boy. Let's go. Barolo directs you to a flea-ridden bunk. You collapse into it gratefully. All right, so the question is, do you wish to wear Sieg's pomander, or do you wish to take it off? So now, let me just say one thing about that. Sorry, the pomander. When we wore the pomander the last time, it helped us because there was that assassination attempt in the inn. However, presumably Barolo would already have killed us if Barolo wanted to do that. So if we want to get some actual rest here, think about that as you're making your decision. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just reminding you that, like, that is something to consider because we did lose stamina points the last time. So $vote space 1 if continue to wear the pomander. $vote space 2, take it off. Barolo's tongue, skill 10, stamina 16. Wow. And there was only one bed. Yep. Is it so? Chad has already shipped these two without really knowing a lot about them. I just want to be clear.
Well, I mean, that's how that works, right?
Apparently.
Do I want a snack or do I want another coffee? I don't want to eat pudding, but we don't have any pudding.
That's a very specific request.
Not for me. I always want pudding.
Are we talking rice pudding, vanilla pudding, chocolate pudding?
Chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding, okay.
Love chocolate pudding.
I mean,
vanilla pudding is evil.
Rice pudding is good, though.
Rice pudding is awesome.
Although, no raisins, though. Sometimes people sneak raisins in there, and I'm like, why? But if you
just to offend you.
Personally. Yeah, well, I mean, clearly. and it's never on the top, is it, Tari? It's already buried below the surface where you can't see it.
Traditionally, where I'm from, you either eat rice pudding with sugar and cinnamon or with applesauce.
Those both sound great, actually. Favorite kind of applesauce is cinnamon applesauce, so why not both? Why not applesauce and cinnamon?
So what is like the go-to way to eat rice pudding in the US?
There's one of two ways, which is either with the cinnamon and sugar, as you mentioned, or with raisins, which is what people who have no taste do. But my dad loved rice pudding. He was a big fan. Let's see. Okay. All right, last call, chat.
Otherwise, firmly team chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding is quite good.
Oh, and chocolate hazelnut.
Yeah, my daughter really likes hazelnut. Chocolate mousse, which is not quite the same as pudding, but I like chocolate mousse.
It's just floofy pudding.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is very, very good. Well, partly because my favorite kind of pie is chocolate cream pie, which is basically just chocolate mousse with whipped cream. So, what's not to like? Okay, so you've decided to take off the pomander. Yeah, sorry, you were asking? What?
What? I wasn't asking anything.
Oh, I thought you were asking
just
something.
Making a stupid pronunciation joke about whipped cream.
Whipped cream. Okay. There's this great line in Star Trek where actually, chat, you all know Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan. So the original version of that in the original series called Space Seed where they find this guy Khan, who turns out is a Superman, not the Superman, but a Superman who was in the eugenics wars in the 1990s, who was like, arrogant and like considers himself superior breeding, a person of superior breeding and all that stuff. So he at one point is like sitting there defending, what they did when they were in charge of the world. And he's like, these were men of great accomplishments and like, think of what they were able to do. And he says, we were able to unify humanity. And so Spock, who does not like this guy, is like, unify like a team of oxen under one whip. And like, I always remember the one whip because like it's such a Spock burn because like the guy like gets really pissed off at him and Spock's just like, I don't, your anger is irrelevant to me. Like whatever. Team of oxen under one whip.
I'm not sure I can finish this drawing. That might be too raunchy for stream.
Is this an embrace? Is that where?
No, that's a knife scene where we have the knife to our throat.
Well, it's not necessarily raunchy, depending on. I want to know what
you don't
you're
know
doing
the kind
with
of scenes I draw when I'm on stream.
Oh God. I can only imagine. All right, so you've decided to sleep. You sleep well and awake refreshed in the morning. Good job, chat. So we're back up to stamina 16. That's where I should actually probably put the save point then, because that seems to make sense. Okay, let's go with. I'm gonna go here. People here like assassins, totally normal. Yeah, I'm totally down on that regard. Absolutely. Calamare is less than a day's ride away, so you put aside your aches for the good of its people and send for your horse. That's a line I need to use more. I am putting aside my aches for the good of my people. The ostler charges you 1 gold piece for stabling, but your mare looks well fed and eager to be off. Why exactly? No, wait a minute. I'm paying the ostler to stable the horse from an inn that was just burned down because of their lack of security. How about you pay me gold for not suing you for trying to kill me and my horse off? Let's see. Before you leave, Barolo hands you a bundle wrapped in an oily rag. A little something to match up with your sword, he says. Unwrapping it, you find it is a small shield, a buckler. It is perfectly balanced for use with your sword and adds 1 point to your skill in combat. If you wish to give Barolo something in return, you can, or you can wave goodbye to your old teacher and set off. Okay, before we do that, I just want to write this down. So this is interesting, chat, actually, because it says 1 to your skill in combat. Now, you can't go above your initial skill level, but it is talking about in combat, so I would say that that's different. So I would say +1 means that we now have a functional skill of 13 in combat, which is pretty good.
Okay, Tom, this is the hearse. Let's go.
The inn was burned down. The stable is 4 stars, really. So they're not connected. Is that the idea? It's a buckler, yeah. Oh yeah, what did I say? Small sword. My bad. I meant to say buckler. Thank you. That is more accurate. Not a small sword. You already have a sword. Okay. Right. So. Oh, and I need to make a note to myself now that I think of it, because you can land a killing blow sometimes. When you roll a double 6, I have to remember this. On a double 6, enemy dies immediately. Dies instantly on a double 6 because of our Fang Thane Steel sword. So I need to remember that. Okay, great. And don't forget, chat, at some point if we get in big trouble, we have these potions. We don't know what they do. Honestly, like, we have no idea. We won't know until we drink them, which is, interesting. But that is always there if we get into, big trouble. Okay, so where were we? Right. So, chat, do we wish to give... Let me see before I ask you that question, if we have something to give. Okay, looks like it could be anything. All right, chat, we would have to give him something, and I don't think we really have anything we could give him unless we want to give him one of the potions. So, $ vote space 1, yes, give him one of the potions. Or I guess you could actually give him a provision or a gold or something. So, $ vote space 1. Do you want to give him something? If you want to give him something, $ vote space 1. If you don't want to give him anything, $ vote space 2. So if you want to give him something...
We have our jerkin back, or did that like go up in flames or something?
No jerkin.
Okay, so we're just gonna be topless for the entire remainder of
Until he gets something different.
nipples.
Like what? Our socks? I mean, listen, maybe he wants a fresh pair of socks.
Well, they wouldn't be fresh, would they?
You don't think you bring spare socks?
Well,
check
didn't bring a spare shirt, so probably no spare socks. Spare socks. I'm speaking with a little bit of a
Don't you share some?
Sean Connery.
I was just gonna say that. Show Spectre.
Spectre.
Okay, now are you making someone that you describe as chiseled, sculpted, ripped, wired,
Abbed.
aft?
That's a word, right? Abbed.
Give the Gulch potion its name sounds unpleasant. Well, we will discuss that in a moment. I will put some links up there. We're not giving away our sword, our buckler, our backpack, our armor, or our pomander, but we can give one of the potions, or we could give a gold or a provision. I think that's the way that I would probably describe it. This Wizards and Warriors theme has a lot of music to it, actually. This soundtrack.
Oh, the music has stopped for me. Why does it? Oh, it did like the whole thing of like the video has been paused because you weren't looking at the screen.
Oh, the
Yeah,
focus, like your
yeah.
Windows was not focused.
Yeah, I hate this function. Like, please buy YouTube Premium, and I'm like, no, I will not.
I have to
Shall-
say, I don't have Spotify. I do have YouTube Premium. It is really nice not to have to worry about commercials and to get music, so that when people like, because if one of my kids is like, Dad, can you play this? I actually have it. And because I'm in a band, I know that YouTube Premium, though it still pays a pittance, pays a hell of a lot better than Spotify does. So, there's that. Okay, going once, going twice. All right, we've decided to give our Chris Christopherson something. I can't blame you, Chad. I can't blame you. All right, so the question is, what are we going to give him? So here are the choices. We can give him, of the stuff that we have, we can give him the Gulch. Now, this is not, by the way, how do I put this? It's not asking us these as choices. We can give him any of these things as we want, but it doesn't have separate entries for these. So whatever we give him, we just lose, and then whatever happens, happens. But like, so keep that in mind. It's not like, oh, maybe he likes this potion over that potion. It doesn't matter what you give him. It's just a gift. So the question is what? 1 gold, 1 provision.
Like
A picture
what's it called?
of Tari's
Amateur vision.
wiry pick. Yes, that one. I'm just kidding. You can't give him that. All right. All right, there we go. Slide a coin into his pocket. There have been a couple like commercials there, Echo, because my personal account is the one that has the YouTube Premium. I'm not going to buy 2 YouTube Premium accounts. Like, and the one that I use is for my Arvanelleron account. And the reason that I have that up and running is because that's what allows me to stream on YouTube at the same time. I could use a different browser, I guess, and then like, I mean, it gets a little overcomplicated, so that's why. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Just give him a kiss. Walk this way, blade this way. He told me to cut this way,
How do you say
cut
the
this
name?
way. Okay. Right, and skip. Right. There we go. All right. Last call, last call. I am enjoying this chat. I'm enjoying having a nice chill time hanging out with you folks today. Like I said, it was a great, ArvCon was a great event. I really enjoyed it. The scientist game, the Star Wars scientist game on Monday was so much fun, and like the Eberron was intense, great D&D. It was great to do that. The Talisman Adventure finale was awesome. The expedition was great. I love doing the choose your own adventure, like all of it, the concert, it was all great. But I definitely today was like, I'm looking forward to just having it all laid back a little bit. So this has been really nice. Plus, I always love hanging out with Tari, even if, you know, Tari does some strange Metal Gear quotes that I don't get sometimes, and threatens to make drawings that will get me banned from Twitch. You know, that type of thing.
Nah, this is fine.
And for those of you, by the way, who may have missed this, if any of you, because I know this is European-friendly time zones, I was just talking to Tari about this before.
That's the only European-friendly thing about the stream.
What?
The time zone.
What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. All of these people, I love Europe. Like Europe more than I like America. Yeah, but I wanted to mention that the recently announced by the Dice Roll TTRPG actual play group, which consists of the GOG crew mostly, excited or nervous about the live D&D? Excited, not nervous. You know, there's always a little bit of like butterflies before you get ready for a live event, but I love that stuff. Like I'm very excited about it. And for those of you who missed it, so on Saturday, August 17th, the evening of Saturday, August 17th, the new group by the Dice Roll will be having its first live D&D event, and it will be at the Clapham Omnibus Theater, or I guess it's the Omnibus Theater in Clapham, I believe is what it is, which is get this, a community theater, nonprofit, that was a former library, a Victorian library, and I'm going to run people through my Night at the Forbidden Library adventure because none of them have done it. And that's going to be happening in person. That's in the UK. And it's £7.50 or £7.50, I believe it is. So it's very cheap, relatively speaking. And I would love to see all of you there. I was talking to Tari about this before. There are some folks, of course, the actual GOG folks I'll be seeing. But I would love to see any of you there. You can buy tickets at that link right now. You should be able to buy it, and you can meet a bunch of people there. I would love to meet the European folks there. Seriously, like my family's going to be with me, and I'm genuinely looking forward to meeting so many people there in person. It's like I'm very excited to do it. So, and it's going to be a lot of fun because I think not only it's a small theater, it's about 110 seats. But having that full, if we did manage to get it full, I don't know if we will, but if we did, that would be really amazing. Hold on, let me show this commercial. That would be really amazing if we could get it full. But regardless, just having all of those, having people there that I know, from online, but I've never met in person, is going to be just great energy for all of it. So it's going to be super cool. You've been to that place when you lived in London. That's really interesting, Genli, because now I know that Inanda, who's the one who's arranging, is the event manager arranging this. She's one of our players, and she's done a wonderful job with this. But all I know is from what I saw from the outside and then the pictures inside, and it seems really cool. But you said it's quite stylish. Oh, man, that's super cool. Well, no. I understand that Effect Life. I mean cheap as far as that ticket price, not the travel. I get that for sure. That's cool, though. Yeah, I'm very excited. We saw a couple of places. There was one place that we had thought about that was actually a 900-year-old church that's been converted into a theater, and that also seemed awesome, but it was very hard to get a hold of them, and they weren't super well organized, and also it would have been more expensive, and also like it's a much bigger theater. Now, I've run D&D events in a 1,500 person, seat theater, but quite frankly, if I can have I'd rather have 90 people in a 110 person theater, or let's put it this way. I'd rather have 50 people in a 110 person theater than 90 people in a 1,500 person theater. You know what I mean? So I don't mind this being a little bit smaller, and sort of well suited for this. It's going to be very cool. You will definitely see Frostwire. Oh yeah, I would assume so. Yes. And I know there are a few other people who will definitely be there. So.
Wait, so what was the date again?
It's Saturday, August 17th, and it's the evening of same.
Oh, I hope that's not too short notice for me to get a passport. God damn it.
Don't they
Tomorrow,
have?
first thing I do.
Yeah.
Is
Oh
do
yeah,
passport.
Tari.
Like the issue is that I'm not living in my home country, so I have to go through the embassy, and
Okay.
the embassy has intense waiting times for getting passports done.
Oh, what if you tell them that it's like Can you make an argument that there's some economic reason you need to do it, and then I can like buy a drawing from you or something? You know what I mean? Like they don't look
Sure.
into it, right? Like they're not gonna. It's going to England. It's not like you're gonna go to Australia, the other side of the world
I
or
think
something.
before they let that go through, they will just revoke the whole passport thing again for people from the EU. God, that would be so nice.
I had
So
to actually.
fucking stupid. That
Yeah,
that
no,
is a
definitely do that, Tari. Seriously. Yeah, I had to check to make sure. My passport expires next year, but it doesn't expire till September of next year. So by the time I do this, this is more than a year out, which is fine. That's not a problem. But next, hopefully, assuming everything goes okay with the election, then I'll make sure to do that, late this year.
I can't stress enough how fucking stupid it is. Like everybody, like my generation forward, is like used to never needing a passport when traveling through Europe, right?
Right.
Like besides, like maybe if you're going somewhere in the Balkans.
But
even
now
by
you do
that is
because of
not a
the
thing.
EU. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like why? And like even like it's not even the EU, it's the Schengen, right? There's like way more countries in the Schengen
Yep.
than there are in the EU. But like the UK isn't even part of the Schengen anymore.
Such a
It's
pain in the
fucking
ass. Why don't
stupid.
you take a small boat over here? I know those are popular in England right now. Oh my god. Yeah, it's so obnoxious. Like so dumb. And they know it. I mean, it's like had terrible effects on their economy. It's terrible for their workload. It's made it hard. Like the NHS is struggling to fill positions because shockingly, immigrants live in the country and do work in the country. They don't just go there. Like it's ugh. Anyway, date of expiry 2030. Okay, I'll be there. Yeah, you should be good. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah. And Emily, I saw what you had to say. Definitely post that link again, Emily. If anyone's in a position to do this, definitely support or spread the word about the Ukrainian translation that Emily has done, because it would be great if Emily is able to make it out to that to Worldcon / this D&D event. So post that link again for what Athos is doing, because I think you did, right? Didn't I see you post the link just now? Oh, you didn't. You just talked about it. But can you post a link to it? Like the GoFundMe? Anyway, sorry about that, chat. I got caught up in talking to all you lovely people. Okay, so we've decided to give them a gold. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, Barolo thanks you for your gift and wishes you good luck in your mission. You wave him goodbye and ride off. Tick off a time box and turn to 290. All right, so we're up to 10 time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 14 is where we're going to run into our first problem. So let's see. Damn it, my dungeon master was suggesting country music for my D&D character for a double date in the campaign. Problem there is that I am not fond of country music since they all sound alike to me. There isn't anything wrong with country music. It's just not my cup of tea. I have to tell you, Sean Storm, that is one of the more specific terms, one of the specific complaints I've had in here before. Not complaint to us, but I mean like, I get a lot of like, hey, what would you do if a player did this? Or what would you do if a DM does this? I don't think I've ever had some being like, what do I do if I don't like country music? So this is what I would say, Sean Storm. Here's what you do, okay? Here's what you do. So I agree with you. I don't like country music either, with one exception. Bluegrass, okay? Like Union Station is a name of a group like this. Basically anything from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, okay? Actual legit bluegrass music is awesome. If you can get out of the sort of overproduced garbage, everything sounds the same, twangy guitar nonsense from Nashville, if you get past that, the bluegrass stuff is great. And you can give him stuff like that and be like, what about this? Or even country like Johnny Cash, like original Johnny Cash outlaw country. That's not bad. That's workable, you know?
Also could always go for crossover music. That also works.
That's true.
Find yourself.
That's true.
Pick a genre you do like and see if there's any like crossover stuff for that.
Is there country metal, Tori?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Though it's usually called cowboy metal.
Cowboy metal. Okay. Cowboy metal. Okay, let's see. We had planned to go. It's Chris's
Not
50th.
exactly a
took
huge
gamble.
subgenre, but it exists.
There has been support. No, I know there has been support, but not enough yet. There's not too much money for the whole genre to rally for. So, let's see. That whole Brexit discussion, our discussion of it, or the discussion in general. Like the discussion in general, Brexit is deeply problematic, though. I mean, I have spoken to a number of people about that. I did not live in England myself. But I followed it quite closely at the time, and a lot of the same people involved in Brexit stuff became the same people who then made arguments about, taking out immigrants and removing America from the world in any realistic sense and all that too. So, we don't have to get into politics right now, but just, sounds good, Echo. Definitely share it for sure. You have two country musics I'll listen to consistently, Johnny Cash and Charlie Daniels. Problem is, it's got to be romantic. No, I got you. Just to The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And just slow it way down. Okay? He said, fire in the mountain, run, boys, run. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. There you go. And it'll be fine. You chose two songs that fit perfectly with the tone, but he said no? Oh, man. Oh, thank you, Effect Life, for supporting the GoFundMe. Thank you, Effect Life. That's kind of you.
I wish I could give some good advice, but I don't really know country music, to be honest.
Okay, so
not really big here, American country music for some reason. I can't put my finger on why.
Can't imagine. But, okay, I think we went down to 3 gold, I think is what it is. So you gave him the gold. He wishes you good luck in your mission. You wave him goodbye. You tick off a time box, which we did. And then we turn to 290. You pass through rich cultivated lands, the estates of the wealthy nobles of Calamere, until you see the welcoming sight of the Rangor Tower up ahead. Tick off a time box. Oh, boy. And turn to 67. You spur your horse once more to a gallop, race through the city gates and along the way of flint to the palace. There you confront 2 of the palace guard, the only soldiers left in the city. State your business, peasant, one of them grunts. We have no need of kitchen hands. You step back in astonishment at their impudence. Surely they must know of you. Will you insist that you were on a vital mission, or will you draw your sword and threaten the guardsmen? $vote space 1 means you are on a vital mission. You insist that you're on a vital mission. $vote space 2 means you draw your sword and threaten the guardsmen. High Road by 3 Days Grace. I actually don't know the High Road by 3 Days Grace. I obviously do know Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Now, okay, I kind of sneaky low-key don't mind that song, but I kind of understand why he might be not so hot on it, because it is a little bit, as sung by Steven Tyler, it is a little bit whiny, like, I don't want to close my eyes, I don't want to fall asleep. Like, it's a little Steven Tyler-y, you know what I'm saying? So, there's that.
Wait, that's country?
No, he said he was recommending something that wasn't country, and his DM
I see.
it
I was
down.
like, I was really fucking confused there for a second.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's
Or
nice of you.
alternatively, you could branch out into folk. I know a lot of people don't know the difference between.
That's true. I like folk a lot, actually. Fighting is usually a mistake in this book.
Depends on the culture the folk is from.
Okay, that's
folk
fair.
Music is absolute fucking garbage, with no redeeming qualities.
Wait, which folk music? Which kind?
German folk music.
German folk music.
Ugh.
Really? No redeeming qualities?
No redeeming qualities. Absolute fucking garbage.
I see.
Well, specifically Southern German, like Alpine, let's say. Alpine folk music is like Musikantenstadel and stuff like that.
Not so hot.
Puke-worthy.
If it has to be rock, then at least... Yeah.
Statistically speaking, there has to be something in there that I do like. But I can't be bothered to dig through or to wade through entire garbage heaps full of putrid stink sounds that come from that genre.
Well, 2 things. First of all, Matara says German folk metal is fun. Haha.
No, folk metal is something different.
And Matora, by the way, to answer your question from earlier, so I am very excited for the D&D event. It's going to be really fun. I can't wait to meet everyone. I can't wait for us to have fun together with D&D, and I'm excited. It's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to it a lot. The other thing is, Sean says, the chorus to the High Road is... No, that wasn't what I was going to see. Will you help me find the right way out or let me take the wrong way down? Will you straighten me out or let me take the long way around? I took the low road in, I'll take the high road out. I'll do whatever it takes to be the mistake you can't live without. That's a good line. And then you go, and I would walk 500 miles and I would... So there you go. German folk metal. I think the other thing is, if you were to find something that has, like, where you can't question the validity of it in terms of, like, well, okay, so we were talking yesterday, for example, about the song by Queensryche, Silent Lucidity. And I was pointing out that I think that song's actually a good song. And I think that even the video from it was kind of cool. And I don't know a whole lot about Queensryche from that time period, but, like, I thought that was pretty cool. That's got a romantic sort of vibe to it. And I think you'd have a hard time arguing that Queensryche doesn't count as, like, a, you know, like... That's legit. If he says it's got to be a good rock song. Or, you know, another one by Shinedown, Through the Ghost. That's another one that is a good rock song and that is a kind of rock ballad. That's solid as well. But if he only wants country, then you're kind of, you know, why would you want country for romance, though? Like, unless it's...
Comedic effect?
Yeah, God. Right, though? But that's exactly what it would feel like, is that, for sure. Wait, what is this? I just saw a commercial. What is this? What is this? What am I looking at? Wait. What's the commercial for?
What's this?
Oh my God, there's a documentary about Jim Henson coming to Disney? What? Because Disney has all their stuff now. Oh, wow. I have incredible admiration for Jim Henson, so I'm going to have to check that out. Oh, man. What a good man Jim Henson was. Okay, so we are done with that soundtrack. So now you suggested Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. OST. I'm liking this one too. Ooh, that picture of the dude in the cloak, especially, Tari, that's cool. I love that the face really creates that sense of age. It's pretty cool. Shockingly,
That's
you see,
what wrinkles do.
You're rather good at this drawing thing. You should do more of that. Okay, so I have the Prince of Persia Sands of Time OST up, and I will put it in Zoom here. Okay. The song played vanilla is grungy, but on the somber end of grungy. If it's played acoustic, it sounds absolutely beautiful. Okay. Okay, very cool. Oh, that's maybe a little... Is that music too loud, Chad, or is it okay? Oh, man. This is a good soundtrack. I forgot about that. What do you think, chat? Is that soundtrack, is that too loud, or is it okay? It's okay? Favorite folk metal bands, all including bagpipes, well, that's important, would be...
favorite folk metal band, Ensiferum at the moment.
Ensiferum, okay. Mortara says, do you know these? Tridana, Celtiberian, and Folkstone?
No, literally never heard of those.
Folkstone. Wow, that sounds awesome. I've never heard of it, but okay.
Are these like specifically German folk metal? Because I kind of fell out of love with German folk metal like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't. Yeah, are those German ones, Mortara, or no? Okay.
I used to be really big into an Extremo back in the day. Woof.
German folk metal, Effect Life suggests...
Oh, no! Feuerschwanz! I hate Feuerschwanz! Fuck that band! Hate them.
What is wrong with Feuerschwanz?
They're just not good. Not my jam, and the fans are incredibly annoying. I know you shouldn't judge a piece of media or whatever by its fans, but... I remember a few years ago... when my YouTube feed was just spammed full with Feuerschwanz, like, recommendations because of other stuff that I listened to, and I hated it. And they, like, covered the worst songs from one of my favorite non-battle bands, and somehow made it even worse. It's like, ugh.
Which is what?
It's Ding by Seed. It's a German reggae band.
Okay.
It's like the worst song they ever put out, in my opinion. And then they somehow made it even worse.
We are going to be going to see there's a Saratoga jazz festival that we're going to be seeing, and it's going to have a lot of people in it, but it finishes up with Norah Jones. which is going to be really cool. My daughter is a big fan of, and there's someone else that maybe you folks will know, because we went to a folk festival last year, but this one I need to find Saratoga Jazz.
Mortara, what is the
Festival.
difference between ska punk and punk ska?
It's where you accent it. Ska punk or punk ska.
Oh, is that like with pom? What was the word?
Pomander or Pomander, yeah.
Yeah. That's the difference.
But it's going to end with Nora Jones, and it also has, there's a singer called Laufey, Laufey, that my daughter really likes, and I had never heard of her. So Laufey, but then it's finishing with Nora Jones. Like, my wife and I like Nora Jones anyway, but ever since I've heard like 3-4 years ago, and I've played it many times on here for people, the Nora Jones Black Hole Sun cover, I've been like, yeah, Nora Jones officially has my approval. Like, anyone who can do a cover that good deserves every credit. So that's what it's about.
That's Soundgarden, right?
Yes.
Black Hole Sun. Yeah.
Yes. And the two greatest covers I've ever heard of a song are Nora Jones's of that and Peter Frampton's of that. Those are the two great ones. Like, oh, that shows you how good the song is, because it works well with either of them, because obviously Nora Jones is all like light jazz and piano, but it's super good. Sean Storm says, what about this? The problem with one concern, the song works for the tone. Dungeon Master said no, because rock music's normally high energy. If Alice is there, you don't want her energetic. Alice is one of 3 wives for one of my party members. The double date my character is planning for is between my character and 3 characters from Naruto. This is getting rapidly more complicated than I thought. The problem with this thought my Dungeon Master had is the song isn't as energetic as he thinks. Okay. No, I know. I know you told me that, Emily, which continues to, like, oh man, that is a super, like, I was there, like, you can put that on the bulletin board of cool places that it was awesome I was there for, because oh my goodness, I can only imagine. The so good.
Sean, which characters from Naruto? For context?
Also, when you tell them, because we were doing this, it's just the conversation's interesting.
Right.
Oh, no, it's all good. The conversation's been interesting. That's what this is about. When you tell the guards that you were sent out by Lady Carolina personally, they raise their eyebrows and look you up and down. One of them disappears inside the palace while the other still bars your way. After some while, the first one reappears. They're too busy with the Lady Carolina's funeral arrangements to see you today. Bump, bump, You'll have to come back tomorrow. I suggest you have a bath, too, if you want to be allowed in. Now, do you wish to bribe the guards, in which case we have to decide how much we're going to give them, but we'll figure that out, threaten them with the sword, or take their advice and go back to the town? So, what should we do? Bribe the guards. Also, I realized I accidentally dropped an extra gold point piece, which I wasn't supposed to do, because I had already put that in. I just remembered. So we should be at 4, not 3. So bribe the guards, threaten them with our swords, or go back to town. So again, we're trying to get in to see Lady Carolina. Apparently they're making funeral arrangements for her. I don't know what that's all about. So are we going to bribe the guards to let us in, threaten them with our sword, or go back to town? It's for Naruto and Hinata and myself and Ino Yamanaka. Yeah, I like jazz a lot, myself, Genli, and I'm excited for this one.
You probably never read or watched Naruto, have you?
I know of it, though. That is one that I have heard of.
Okay.
I have not read it, but I do know Naruto, yes.
Yeah, this is like, by the way, not the kind of the type of characters I was expecting, but in hindsight, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I was like, yeah, okay, now I'm like, because like when I think of like popular Naruto characters, it's always like Kakashi and Sasuke and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, right. There are female characters in this franchise too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and Genli, you're right. Yeah, I'm guessing the same thing. If we go back to town, we're going to lose more time, and like that's probably not a good idea. Also, I don't know what the hell's up with these guys, but like something is not vibing right to me about these dudes. I don't know. I have no idea, but I mean, which means, as Flying Enemy said, I agree that in this book, it tends to be that fighting is not a great idea unless you absolutely have to. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping 4 gold is enough. but we'll see.
What should I draw next?
Well, right now you're trying to get in to see the Lady Carolina.
Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
So good, so good, so good.
Why would Eno be into country music?
Jazz is cool, but I
Do you
can't
even
play
know
it.
what country music is, I wonder.
I grew up playing a lot of jazz. It was, yeah. Jazz is pretty cool. We had a pretty significant, substantial jazz ensemble in high school, and I had actually a jazz fusion quartet. Was my first ever quartet. Yes, no. Guitar, bass, drum. No, quintet called Life as You Know It. Life as We Know It, rather. Back in the day. And if you look up a guy, he's still very prominent. The sax player in that quintet is a guy named Pete Hess. If you look up like Pete Hess sax or whatever, you'll see he's still doing a lot of that music thing.
Sean, that game that you are playing sounds incredibly convoluted.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jesus.
Jazz is cool, and I can't play any instruments, so there. Listen, we need people who also don't just play, but, listen. I mean, that's just as important. So, all right.
Did you say something?
Last call. What?
Huh? What?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Huh?
A
Oh, a kitty cat.
quartet.
Hey, Lorelei.
Ooh, Genly. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Wholesome Horror Gaming? Hey, if it isn't the awesome Wholesome Horror Gaming. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. American schools seem to be really good. Some schools invest in sports. A lot of schools don't invest what they should in music. They're very up and down, Genly. It depends. They're underfunded, especially the public schools are underfunded. There are some, and the problem is they're reliant on local property taxes much of the time. So if you live in an area where there are high property taxes, you tend to have a lot more resources in those school systems. But there are a lot of good teachers that you can get there, but also some not great ones because of what they're dealing with. So very up and down. Very up and down. I'm a public school product, and I think I had a pretty good education, I would say. I'm actually a public school product all the way to my PhD, because even my bachelor's and master's were at the University of Connecticut, public universities. And my daughter has got public school now, but she also did some private school and was homeschooled for a year during COVID. So it was kind of a combination. So it depends. It's not as bad as the people who are against, who want to there's some people who want to cut funding completely, who are people that don't want people educated. Those people have to be fought and stopped at every opportunity, because you need to have a better educated populace, not a worse one. But there are a lot of issues with business people thinking that they know better how to run educational systems when they don't. And so that is what is there. So thank you, Wholesome Horror Gaming. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was very proud of everybody. We really came together. 5,056.16 was the number. We beat our goal, which was 5,000. So very happy about it. It was a great event. As it turned out, everyone really, pulled together, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you. And thank you for making the awesome video, which got lots of praise and all that, you should know. And for being a part of things during the Talisman finale. Of course, Wholesome Horror Gaming, you folks should be following this person anyway, Mike Smith. But if you're not, you should be following him as well. Also because he is one of the seven, because I count, one of the 7 inaugural members of the Buy the Dice Roll actual play TTRPG group. And you can meet Wholesome Horror Gaming, that's another person you can meet, at the August 17th event. So this is a live TariToons interaction. TariToons is with me live right now. And yes.
Well, life is debatable. I might be undead instead.
Oh, no. Affect life, yes, quite right. That's exactly right. It's inconsistent. That's exactly right. 100%. So, but it's not that, people are like, it's a disaster. No, it's not a disaster, but it should be better. It's the richest country in the world. It should be better able to maintain it. And it's a matter of will and, as they say, want to. Like, you need to want to make it better. So, yes. Okay, so we have decided to bribe the guards. Seems legit. All right, now, chat, the question is, how much are we bribing them? So, are we going to bribe them? Let's see. How much should we bribe? Should we bribe 1 gold? 2 gold? 3 gold? 4 potato 4? No. Or 4 gold?
Gold.
1 gold, 2 gold, 3 gold, or 4 gold? What's it going to be?
2, 5, 4 gold.
2, 4, 5 gold.
No, like too fast, 2 gold.
Oh, jeez. Too fast, too goldious. Oh, man. We're saving for retirement.
Tokyo Drift.
Exactly. Well, what if we have to get a Phoenix down flying enemy? What if we have to buy the new Buster Sword, No, you're right. That's a good question.
Well, if we can't afford it, that would sure be a bust. Ah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, quality jokes here, just for you people.
I bribe you this piece of string. I am very curious what this is, other than a chance to show off our boy Tempo topless again. I note that you're taking advantage of that moment.
You said that his shirt was gone?
Boy, there are a lot of focus direct on the chest, guy.
We need to give
Have
the
I
fans
showed you
what
this
they
guy's
want.
chest? Let me show you this guy's chest.
I'm one of the fans, and I'm getting what I want.
Give the people, me, what I want, right? Is that the...
Yeah, that's how that works.
I'm a people.
I'm a people. No, he's counting his money in this one because
Oh, I see.
bribing.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah. So he's like, how much can I give you? All right, looks like chat is coalescing around 2 gold. Everyone's like, nah, not 1 gold. Nah, not 3 gold. We have one person for 4 gold. You're like, somewhere in the middle. Make sure it's a burly heaving chest for reasons. We had a big discussion before you got on Wholesome Heart Gaming about the difference between ripped, shredded, built, honed, sculpted, chiseled.
Oiled.
Was it oil? Yeah, no, oiled. That was
Oiled.
well. That was
is,
our discussion. Was our discussion, and then Emily on the side was like, "How about oiled?" Like that kept coming up as a separate thing. Lean, ripped. Yeah. So, do you have any thoughts of this Wholesome Heart Gaming? Like, do you think of ripped as like you can be thin and ripped? Like, I think of ripped as being like you're freaking built. Look at your own book.
That's built,
Oiled.
like you said.
Right, because Wholesome Horror Gaming is a power lifter. That's one of the things that he does. So you had a similar conversation with a fellow power lifter. Yeah, so muscle definition. That's what I was saying, but I agree with that, except that I feel like, because that means that, like, I don't know. Again, I guess Bruce Lee is ripped, but he's not built.
Yes.
All right. Okay, maybe that's true. I just think if they're too thin, I don't know. That wiry strength just still doesn't feel ripped to me in the same way. It's strong muscle definition regardless of size. Okay. Okay. And 2 gold is what we're going to give them. All right. So we're going to give them 2 gold. We note how much we're going to give them. The guards are very happy to accept your gold pieces. Cross off the... No, that's ominous. Cross off the number you gave from your adventure sheet. Okay, so we're down to 2. If you gave the guards fewer than 6... Oh, boy. When you suggest the guards might let you into the palace, you are met by blank stares. They tell you once more to come back the next day and deny all knowledge of the money you have given them.
No.
Will you give them some more gold pieces? Will you threaten them or abandon your attempt to enter the palace? Okay, so these guys. Yep, told you. All right, so do we give them more gold? Do we, let's see, threaten them? Discuss whether they are ripped or just defined. Ask them whether being oiled is a troubling concept.
Well, I mean, you can be both ripped and oiled, right?
Think
If you
further
apply
into-
oil, right? Like with Turkish oil wrestling.
It's true. It's just this one, chat. $ vote space 1, give them more gold. $ vote space 2 is threaten them, or $ vote space 3, give up and try and enter the palace. Oiled, you say. Okay. This is not where I expected our conversation to lead to today. Must be honest. I was not expecting a conversation. It's fine. Totally fine with it. Just, wasn't my plan.
You seem very fine.
Ooh. I seem very fine with the conversation, or I seem very fine in that highly complimentary way.
You seem oily.
I seem oily. Yeah, there you go. It's just like... I'm just going to let that go. I consider myself...
Just let that one slip away.
There's no reason for people to slide into my DMs that way. You know what I'm saying? I consider myself burly, especially after my knee blowout, says Wholesome Heart Gaming. Not doing as much lifting, but still having a strong chest, etc. So we talking like lumberjack burly? Like that style burly?
Yeah, but that can also be ripped.
Yes. Right.
It's just about muscle mass.
You're
in
thick
my
is what you're saying.
Not so humble opinion.
Oh, you're thick with 2 C's is what you're saying. Okay. All right. I give lovely hugs. All right, chat. $ vote space 1 to give them more gold. $ vote space 2 to threaten these bastards. And $ vote space 3 would give up on trying to enter the palace. I know we don't want to get into
would be really angry right now if he found out what kind of conversations we are having on this stream today. Because he's not here.
Because he's not here. I was just going to say, because he's not a part of it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you hear you didn't know this, but one of the incentives which we didn't hit was at $6,000 he was going to shave his beard. And at $8,000 he was going to shave his head. Yep.
Can't shave his beard? That seems heretical.
Might have been a disincentive, yeah. I don't know. Because he's sick of it. He's sick of the beard and he wants to get rid of it anyway. But he wants to at least cut it down. He's, it's too much. It's gotten too majestic.
Well, it's his beard. He can do what he wants with it.
Can do what you want to. The haircut was pretty cool. So what do you think, chat? $ vote space 1 to give them more gold. $ vote space 2 to threaten them. $ vote space 3 to give up on trying to enter the palace. Oh, wait, I haven't opened it, have I?
You haven't opened the palace?
Have I opened the... Wait a second. I don't think I ever opened this. My bad. Let's try that now. Let's do that again. Apologies. I didn't open it up because apparently I don't know why. So let me try that again. Sorry about that. So, are we going to give them more gold, threaten them, or give up on trying to enter the palace? Now I have it right. So please get your votes in now. $ vote space 1 for more gold. $ vote space 2 for threaten these bastards. $ vote space 3 for give up on trying to enter the palace. Please get your votes in now.
With the YouTube Music app, you can blend up to 30
Okay, never
artists
mind
into
about
one
this
big custom radio
commercial.
station,
There we
which
go. All right, last call, last call. Kind of digging this soundtrack. Okay, last call going once. Last call going twice. Okay. All right. So we have decided to threaten them. I'm in favor of this. These people are annoying me now. The guards are taken aback when they find themselves staring at the blade of your sword. They look at each other briefly, then one shouts, "Get him!" Now, this is a good call, actually, because if you have Siege's Pomander, and are still wearing it, we would actually get a negative to this. But because we are not still wearing it, so we're not freaking exhausted, you must fight the guards. All right, it's our first battle of the day, but the good news here, first battle of the day, and we don't have all that much longer of the day, at least not on this channel, but there is some good news here because, I guess there will be as soon as I can find the, where's my battle? There it is. Okay, so we have the first guard and the second guard. First guard, who has skill of 7, stamina of 8. And the second guard, in all caps, skill of 6, stamina 7. Now, the way that this is going to work is that as we're fighting these two, we actually have to roll 2 times every round. The only time we damage someone is on the first one because we're fighting the first guard, and then we are rolling damage against that person. The second time is just to keep them from damaging us. So, chat, I need someone who is willing to roll some 6-sided dice for me. I would need you to roll, and you can do this in chat, by the way, with the power of, let me actually click this
friendship.
So I have it right. With the power of friendship, and also the power of Arvbot 1.3 or whatever we're up to right now. So the way you do that is, you can do, I believe it is $ roll space the number. I will figure it out in a minute, but Effect Life always is like, no, it's this because Effect Life programmed it. Did I get it right? Okay, $ roll space 1d20. Like that, right? So all you have to do is do $ roll space, and then you're going to do 2d6, and you can add something. Now, in this case, we're in combat, so because of that buckler, we actually have 13 skill in combat. So who is willing to roll for all of you in combat? We're going to be going for another 20 minutes or so, so this will probably be the only combat I'm guessing that you'll have to do. But who wants to roll? Okay, Effect Life. Sounds good. So if you would not mind, I'm going to roll myself. So we've got the first guard is 2d6 plus 7. So it's 13. So you just need to beat a 13, which, to be clear, is what you already have to begin with. So go ahead and make the roll anyway, so we can clear that. Yep. Wow, and that was with double ones. That's funny. Does it say what happens if you roll double ones? Do you lose something? Okay. Fortunately, it doesn't matter. The worst possible outcome. Fortunately, we're still better. Okay, so they lose 2 stamina. Now, the second roll that I'm making is for the second guard. Any roll that we get on that second guard is literally just going to be, that should be not a, that's wrong. That should be a 16. I forgot to switch it. So that one, you just need to tie or beat a 16. That won't damage them. That will just keep us from getting hurt. So if you could roll again. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's have none of those, none of that, ones with thing. Okay, great. So back to the beginning of the next round. I'm going to roll. I roll a 13. So once again, it's tied up. The other reason to roll this is if you roll double 6s, the guy's killed instantly. So there's that. Okay, great. Then I'm going to roll for the second guard. Again, I did that wrong. Sorry. That should be 13. So we just need a 13. Okay. And we got a 22, so we obliterated the guy. Great, although, again, that doesn't get hurt the second time. Top of the next round. 12 is what my guy rolled, which is less than what we start with. We are so much better than these guards. Okay, so yes, that guy is almost dead. Then the second one, this time I remembered. 18. Okay, it's the best they're going to do. They rolled 2 double 6s and the 6. 18. Really? We somehow got hit by this guard. I feel vaguely embarrassed.
Wait, if they roll double 6, does that mean we are instantly
No,
dead?
only we do that because we're using a special sword called a Fang Thane sword. Fortunately. You and my dices. Okay, the second time I rolled a 12. So go ahead and roll that. 1 plus 4. Okay, so the first guard is dead. Now it's just second guard verse. So, whoops, I did that wrong. That should be a 13. So 13. And we rolled, okay, so that one got hit because we're only fighting him now. Okay, the next one is a 10. It's embarrassing we took any hits from these dudes. Ooh, that was close to an insta-kill, but not quite. Okay, so he loses again. This time he rolls a 15. We could actually theoretically tie here. Okay, and then the last one probably, a 12, yeah. Should never have given these guys any gold. Screw these guys. All right, good job, Effect Life. Whoops, that's 0. Okay, down they go. So, if you defeat both the guardsmen, and boy did we, if you narrowly obliterate the guardsmen, I haven't seen something that dominant since the Boston Celtics swept the Indiana Pacers last night to go to the NBA Finals. Hey-o. I was pretty happy about that. You drag the bodies of the guardsmen into the nearby ditch and stride into the palace courtyard. The first person you meet is a footman. He is laden down by the weight of a heavy chest he is carrying and is hurrying towards the stables. When he sees you, he hails you and demands to know your business. Yeah, I guess so. It doesn't say that, but I imagine we can take our gold back. I think I'm just going to house rule that. It would make no sense if we couldn't do that. So yeah, I would say yes, we can.
Loot, loot, loot,
Loot. Okay. When he sees you, he hails you and demands to know your business. You tell him you have an urgent message for Lady Dunyazad. He directs you to an antechamber and promises to fetch the noblewoman. As the footman scurries off, you make your way into the antechamber and wait. After several minutes, the slight form of Dunyazad breezes into the chamber, and I have a picture for this. Well, at least the book has a picture. Let's see if there is one in here. I do. Okay, I'm going to show you folks this. Let's see. Oops. All right. Let me get the window capture going to do it. There we go. Right there. So, the slight form of Dunyazad, and then we're going to go back to Tari's much more awesome art, but just for a moment so you can see. The slight form of Dunyazad breezes into the chamber, accompanied by a hulking bodyguard who is... Now, is that hulking bodyguard in the back, Mike, would you say that that's a similar stature to your own? Would you define that as ripped? Do we have a ripped dude in the back there? With the beard and the whole bit? If Wholesome Heart Gaming is even here. May not be, but anyway, I was just curious. Accompanied by a hulking bodyguard and a shifty, travel-stained individual whom you recognize as Luthour, one of the other heroes who stayed behind to protect Calumet. What is it you want? She snaps abruptly at you. You explain to her what you've discovered during your journey, and noticing as you do so a smirk appear on the face of the hero. When you finish, Dunyazad turns to him. Is this true? She asks. No, my lady, he replies. As you know, I myself have just returned from scouting those very lands, and I saw no invading horde. It was just a wild story spread by some irresponsible rumor-mongerer. The superstitious villagers had merely abandoned their villages and hidden in the forests. Does this wastrel think to impress you with these ridiculous claims? What freaking bastard is this guy? Hey! Dunyazad turns back to you and frowns. I'm too busy with the arrangements for Lady Carolina's funeral to listen to you two bicker. I will use my own methods to ascertain the truth. Meanwhile, you will spend the night in the palace. You were led off to the servants' quarters and given a hard pallet to sleep on. That freaking jerk. As darkness falls, you lie awake on your pallet trying to make some sense of the day's events. As you ponder, you feel the hairs on the back of your neck rise. Straining your senses, you make out a faint, familiar buzzing. Your enemy is within the palace. You snatch up your sword and rush into the courtyard. Looking across at the keep, you see a black shadow rise from it and disappear into the night sky. This is the guy that you all wanted me to embrace by leaping out the window and kissing him en route. The keep is the dwelling place of Calamir's nobility. Its central tower contains Lady Carolina's private suite and ambulance chamber. Ambulance chamber. That's right. I was looking at the wrong line because I was pulling back to Tari's much better art. Audience chamber. The winged creature flew out not from the tower itself, but from one of the windows of the keep from which the tower springs. Tick off a time box. So we're now sitting at 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we still got a little bit while, but not. It's rapidly running out. Will we go and investigate the keep, or will we return to our pallet? So, $ vote space 1 means we will go and investigate the keep, chat. $ vote space 2 means we will return to our pallet.
So I'm not going to start another drawing since it's like 5 minutes.
Makes
to go.
sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not terrible. So, all right, chat. Again, I have to plug something in quickly, but will you go and investigate the keep? That's $ vote space 1, or will you go back to your pallet? And this will be possibly our last decision of the day. There may be one more after this, but close. All right. I am back. All right, what do we think, chat? Possibly the last decision. But close. Anyone else? Anyone else? The options again were, are we going to investigate the keep, or are we going back to return to our pallet? Are we going to go investigate the keep, or are we going back to sleep on the pallet, I guess? You're not Beck, you're Arvin, silly. I see what you did there, Dragon. Hi, Dragon. Okay. Thank you, Martara. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Effect Life. All right. Going once. Thank you, Harlequin. Going once. Going twice. Oh, it's $ vote, Harlequin. Not. That's an awesome symbol. I don't even know what that is, but it looks like a double $. We're looking $ here. Yeah, same, Emily. Same. Also was thinking about you too, same, Dragon. There you go. Thank you, thank you. All right, going once, going twice. All right, we're going to go investigate the keep. That seems heroic, I would say. The main door into the keep will undoubtedly be well guarded. However, by climbing a flight of stairs in the palace walls and slipping along the walkway that runs along their top, you will be able to reach its roof. Glancing round the courtyard, what's up, EA? Legal norm sign. Oh, is that what that is? Glancing around the courtyard, you notice a coil of rope hanging from a hook outside the stables. So you wrap this around you and make your way up the stairs. You keep an eye open for any sign of the guards who occasionally patrol the walkway. Roll 2 dice. Now, this one is skill outside of combat, which means that you're looking at a 12. So, is your skill. So, can I get you, Effect Life, to roll just a straight 2d6 for me, if you would not mind? Okay, cool. Also, again, EA, thank you for the work on the website for Buy the Dice Roll. I really, really do appreciate it. So, again, thank you for that. Very excited to see that as we're able to develop it over time, but thank you so much. Okay. You creep along the walkway until you reach the point where it meets the keep. From here, it is only a short drop onto the slightly sloping roof of the keep of the palace. Above you rises the keep's tower, but you devote your attention to the keep below. The winged creature came from one of the windows below, but you're not certain which one. The keep has 4 walls looking into the courtyard, and each has a small casement window. Around the edge of the keep runs a row of ornamental spikes, round which you'll be able to loop the rope. You'll be able to lower yourself down the wall to peer in at each of the windows. And the question it's going to ask us, and I don't think we're going to do this now because it's 4 choices here, is which wall do you lower yourself down first? I think it makes more sense for us to start here because it'll make more sense that we're trying to infiltrate the keep to find that shadowy creature which keeps trying to kill us. And I don't know about you, chat, but I would prefer if it would freaking stop. I do not need the thing trying to kill us anymore. I think that's I think that would be a nice thing to have. Yeah, one of the reasons, Tari, that we didn't remember much about this is that we played early in April 2nd, and now obviously we're May 28th, so it's basically been 6 weeks since we played this the last time. So
that makes sense.
That there has been time. So all right, so but next time we start, we did manage to get further though in this. We have made some good progress, and we got ourselves a buckler, and we learned how to pronounce the word pomander. So there were a lot of
Did we? Did we though?
Did we really? Is the question.
Did we really?
So let's see what happened with our art today. Let us go back over this amazing art if we can, Tari.
Thank you. So this was a warm up.
Yep, beginning with it, then literally for both you and apparently for our boy Tempo.
Yes.
Smoking it up. But again, remember, chat, smoke that has no deleterious effects and doesn't smell and has no negative impacts.
Well, it can smell nice. That is an option, but
okay, like
it just doesn't smell nice.
Like a nice cologne is what we're talking about, right? Like that.
No, I said something nice.
Oh wow, I see. All right, like
I'm not big out of perfumes and stuff.
Well,
general, so.
because I mean, like cinnamon buns smell nice, but is that what you're talking
about?
Oh
my God, yes, that would be amazing.
Cinnamon
like,
buns.
Imagine if it would just like smell of like freshly baked apple cake or something.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude.
Even just freshly baked bread on its own would be impressive before you even get to the apple cake. Before you get to that.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. All right, so that was the warm up. I like this. This actually is, I honestly think this is my favorite for the day, Tari, because this one is very striking, right? The idea that he's stuck against it. That's one of those, that should go on the special edition copy of this, is what this should be. Right? Because, like, it's like we're fighting against the sands of time. That's very cool. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, then the next one. Is it pronounced pomander? Oh, pomander. Oh, man. The eyes, I just kept looking over chat, and then I was like, eyes. There are eyes there.
Yes.
It was very great.
Thank you.
And then last but certainly not
least. And then we
least,
didn't have a shirt anymore.
and then we had this, what a shame. Right, and this was the, and I mean, the guy in front, obviously our guy is cool, but the freaking badass in back, I was just like, you do not want to mess with that dude. That's super cool. Yes, so another good one.
And that brings us to the last one, us counting our money.
So we actually had, is that 5? Do we have 5 today that I counted, or was it 4?
It is 5.
5. 5 good ones, Tari. Wow. And we did for about, today was about 2.5 hours roughly, so even a little less than we sometimes usually do. Wow. Good stuff. That looks very cool.
Thank you. I'm a bit tired. The
Yes,
coffee
I
is
could.
wearing off.
I had a feeling. I got the sense that might be the case. But it came out very well, and I'm excited to continue this next month. But Tari, where do you want to tell the people to find you and/or things that you were doing or involved with?
Oh, I want to tell them that from the local forest, I think. No. I can be found on Tumblr, on Blue Sky, and on Instagram, all under the name TariToons, where I post my art and things. Currently just bombarding everything with Metal Gear Solid fan art, because I'm having a phase.
A phase.
So yeah. Yeah, go follow me there. That would be nice.
And Tari, I just thought of this, but we actually are going to have access to the theater earlier, and we were thinking about we might have a couple like local businesses and stuff. I have to check with them, but one thing you might want to think of, if you can bring some of your some art like over to sell, like I think that would also be great. Like, I mean, that would be something to consider.
I am still sitting on a bunch of old prints from before the lockdown.
So I mean, that's something to think about. Yeah.
Maybe nice. I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll talk more about it offline.
I can't promise
but
that I'll be there. Like, if I can get my passport in time,
I
then
understand.
yes, I'll definitely be there. But
yeah, tell them tomorrow. If it's for economic debt.
No, I can only tell them on Fridays, because you can only make appointment on Fridays, because
what?
Fuck the government, I guess.
It's
random.
The
embassy, dude. Like, the embassy is bogus.
You can't drive back to Germany and then do it like it's like going to another Starbucks.
No, I
you can't go to another embassy.
No,
oh, really?
I have to go to the embassy in Amsterdam. It's bogus. It's nonsense.
Jeez.
I can't go to like my last place of residence or my birth town or anything. Nope, I have to go to the fucking embassy.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah.
Tell them But wait though, if you make an appointment, right? Then presumably, if you can get in time, like it's not like they say, okay, now we approve you. You go to the appointment, you do the appointment, and then they go, okay, now wait another 6 months and we'll send it to you, right? Like
that might happen actually. Do never overestimate the German bureaucracy system. It's absolute nonsense and garbage.
Oh my God! All right, well,
terrible back to front. But yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, use your full level of charm to convince them. All right.
Oh yeah, because I'm so full of charm.
Yeah, make a persuasion
or whatever
rolls.
you call that black ichor that lives in my chest. So yeah, thank you very much for having me. Go follow me on the social medias and stuff. And I see you sometime next month here for another Tuesday.
For twice, I think we'll have Beowulf, and then we'll have this. So. Thank you,
I don't
Tari.
know which dates yet.
Yes, exactly. That we will figure out over the next week or so. But thank you so much, Tari. Great stuff as always. And Jack, we get some love for the amazing TariToons and her wonderful art, who we will see in person. I'm just going to manifest it into existence in August.
Don't jinx it. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Tari.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Doei. How do?
All righty. Good stuff. I always love doing these. They are tons and tons of fun, and it was nice and chill, which is good. I was enjoying this. Yeah, me too, Emily. Me too. But more talk about being ripped and honed and chiseled, but even that was cool. I enjoyed that as well. All right, so I'm going to stop with the Prince of Persia music. Although that was at that, I don't know if you noticed, but that soundtrack was going hard. That they don't joke around with that. That was good stuff. So this was fun, everybody. I had a good time, and I hope you did as well. And if so, I hope you will consider following us here on the channel. I hope you'll check out our YouTube !ArvTube, and I hope you will not only subscribe over there, but I hope you will consider checking out some of the shorts that we put up there recently. There was a new one that just went up earlier today. Live Suing is the one putting the shorts together, and he's done a really good job with those. So both there and on my Gen GM's channel, it'd be great if you could follow and subscribe and check out the shorts and spread the word as we grow the community. Because I've had people, including, I believe, Effect Life, if I'm not mistaken. I think we've talked about this before, right, Effect Life? You started by finding my VODs on YouTube, right? And then you came over to Twitch after that? Oh, I wear Man U stuff plenty of times, Dragon. Kind of. Well, you sort of did, yeah. Yes, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So I'll come to the pen and pixels thing in just a minute. So yes, exclamation point ArvTube, exclamation point Discord is exclamation point ArvCord is my Discord channel. You can hang out with us in between streams. Twitter, exclamation point Arv tweets, Blue Sky, exclamation point Arv Sky, website arvanelron.com. Financially, exclamation point Arv Shop is the merchandise area. You can get cool stuff related to the channel that both supports the channel and gives you cool swag. Thank you, iSense, for the cheer. I appreciate that. Thank you. Exclamation point Arv Treon is the Patreon. That's the one sitting right there. That is really the financial backbone of the channel. So as that builds up, that's good for us. Also, subbing to the channel, as has been done, as happened earlier today, is really awesome too. That really allows you to use those custom sub badges and emotes and things like that to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. So please do that. Exclamation point Icarus. That's my graphic novel from Athos Arts, where you can determine whether Icarus is honed or oiled or chiseled or just simply refined. You can find that with exclamation point Icarus. That graphic novel. Exclamation point library is Tales and Tomes. Actually, wait, I'll come back to library in a second because I wanted to answer this question. You learned about Darksaber because of a friend from college. Saw him doing stuff on another channel. When I searched for it, I found the YouTube. I've been stuck here since. Well, having said all of that, I'm glad that you found Saber and then found me. Saber is good people. So I'm sorry that you're stuck, though, Effect Life. You just, it's your own fault. If you hadn't decided that you were a really good programmer and help out with Arcanusbot, with Arvbot and everything, if you just sucked at your job, then it would be fine, and then, but no, we're glad to have you here, obviously, and hopefully I will be able to see you in August. It'll be great. So exclamation point Icarus. I said that. Exclamation point library is my Tales and Tomes. I'm glad you're happy being stuck here. We're happy to have you stuck with us. Exclamation point library is Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and source book. It's been quite a ride, right, Emily? Exclamation point library, Tales and Tomes, the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and source book from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And it is that opening salvo, Forbidden Library, Night at the Forbidden Library, which we will be running at that August 17th event, if you are curious. So there's that. We've got exclamation point Greyshade as well, which is the Greyshade IP, the first two books, Greyshade and Renegade, from my Grey Assassin trilogy from the amazing Athos Arts, edited by the amazing Emily Bell. You can get those right now. You can also get the Greyshade audiobook from our very own Trent Sparks. That also is available right now. You can also get you can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade, which will be out at the end of the year. That is coming out from Alligator Alley by designer Brandon O'Brien, our very own Brandon O'Brien. And you can also pre-order Heretic, which is the final book in the Grey Assassin trilogy. Again, we got a couple events related to that coming up over the next couple of months, so stay tuned for that. But you can pre-order it right now so that you can get it when it comes out. Again, at that link using the power of exclamation point Heretic. And finally, as always, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter. Important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now. That's the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message we will do so for others in the future. I will see you folks at the top of the hour at 4 p.m. Eastern when I will be over at GOGCOM's Twitch channel with Pen and Pixels. I'll say a couple of thank yous to the GOG folks there about ArvCon, and then we will get into more of the amazing, I shouldn't say amazing. It's been good. The good Black Geyser, Couriers of Darkness, which I've been having fun with, which is a Infinity and Beyond engine love letter in a way, sort of older school, even though it's not that old, but I think it's like 3 or 4 years old. But it's a love letter to those sort of I&B engine style games, and it's been fun to play through it. So you can check that out over there if you want to see more about the details with that. Tomorrow night, by the way, we will have Community D&D on this channel. So if you want to see more of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. You can check that out tomorrow evening with Shadowed Mage and the Shadowed Crew. And then I will be back on this channel Thursday night for some more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to wrap up the month of May. June is going to be a little up in the air for the first weekend because we're going to be driving out, my daughter and I, to Three Rivers Comic Con in Pittsburgh. We'll do one stream from there, or we'll try to, but I don't know exactly when that's going to be or what it's going to look like. So that is sort of very up in the air. But then we will have, having done that, we will be back for regular streams next week, and we will schedule that all over the next couple of days, Triffid and myself, to make sure that it is ready to go. So that's what we got going on. Much love to all of you folks for being here. Thank you to my wonderful mods, Emily the Invincible, Triffity Mets, the best mods in the business. Thank you so much to, as I just realized I should X out of this stuff. Hold on a second. Let me X out of that. Let me X out of that. And let me X out of that. There we go. Let me thank also the wonderful Patreon supporters and subscribers. Yeah, maybe, although I don't know. I don't know what access I'm going to have. I'm going to be trying to stream it, Echo, but I don't know what access I'm going to actually have in terms of seeing chat. I don't know. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to do my best to live stream it, but we have to work those things out. But we have enough Twitch streamers. We'll figure it out. Yeah, smartphone Discord, but if they have the Wi-Fi that I can use, then yes, but we shall see. Anyway, thanks to my wonderful Patreon supporters and subscribers as well. Dragon, Emily, thank you to Echo Alpha. Thank you to Effect Life. Thank you to Genly. Thank you, everybody. And thank you to my wonderful viewers. Thank you to Big Boss. Hello, Big Boss. I see you there. Thank you to Darth Sisu. Good to see you, Darth Sisu. Thank you to EA. Thank you to Harlequin. Thank you to Hex. Thank you to Jagtris. Thank you to Keeley. Thank you to Lost Rivers. Thank you to Mortara. I know how to pronounce that name. Thank you to Sevdo. Thank you to Summer. Thank you to Teacup. Thank you to the Dwarf. And thank you to Zianicon. Thank you, everyone. I will see you folks over on GOG.com, as I say, at the top of the hour for some Black Geyser. And then back here tomorrow night for Community D&D Waterdeep Dragon Heist. But until then, more of this book to come. That book right there to come next month. But that's it for me. I'll see you folks over at GOG in a little bit. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other. And bye for now. Ha!